Blog Talk Radio.
Here we go. Blast off.
This is True Capitalist Radio. True Capitalist Radio.
I am your host, the man they call Ghost.
The badass of business.
Give him capitalism or give him death.
That's it. Period.
Broadcasting from his Skyline office studios in beautiful downtown Austin, Texas.
You sound fruitier than a box of Fruit Loops, for Christ's sake.
And now, he'll take it from here. Your host, the prognosticator of prognosticators, the man they call Ghost.
How's it going? And thank you for tuning in with me to another edition of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I'd like to remind everybody this is episode number 492. Episode number 492 for all the folks that are keeping track of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And before we get into anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread it around like wildfire, and let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house, and we are live every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast, and it is blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. And of course, if you haven't done so already, please follow us on Twitter and Gab. Gab, of course, is the Twitter alternative. You can find me on both of those social media under the name Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. All right, now that we've gotten that all out of the way, folks, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. This is the day before 420. That is correct, folks. Tomorrow is the infamous 420. Aside from it being Adolf Hitler's birthday, it is also the infamous underground holiday that represents, I guess, camaraderie amongst marijuana consumers. Now, folks, what I'm planning on doing tomorrow, just to let everybody know, is I plan on subjecting myself to tetrahydrocannabinol so that you don't have to, okay? That's what I'm doing. I'm going to do a public service tomorrow, 420. I am going to subject myself to tetrahydrocannabinol just so that you won't have to. I am providing a public service, and I hope everyone who's listening to the sound of my voice actually listens in tomorrow for the infamous 420. I've done this many a time because I am trying to put myself at risk, all right? Myself at risk so that you don't have to, all right? I'm putting myself at risk so that you don't have to. Anyway, folks, now that we've gotten that all out of the way, let's just go ahead and let's get right into it, all right? Let's go ahead and get right into the crux of the matter. And let's go ahead and talk a little bit about cryptocurrency, shall we? Now, for you folks that are unaware, the reason yours truly is now covering cryptocurrency at the beginning of the first financial hour is because there is major profits to be made in cryptocurrency, and I've said it, and I'm going to continue to say it time and time again. Aside from that, I've said that we are at the beginning of the true profitability of this particular avenue of gaining liquidity. Now, I don't care how you get into cryptocurrency, just get into it for heaven's sake. All right? Just get into it for heaven's sake. I don't care if you're mining it. I don't care if you're just hoarding it, acquiring it, accepting it as a form of payment. It doesn't matter. I'm just trying to let everybody know that cryptocurrency is the next wealth revolution, I should say. And if you're not going to be involved in it, then don't be bitching and moaning when your asses are just sitting there playing with your pecker shaft, wishing you would have gotten on board on this thing when I was sitting here telling all of you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get to some cryptocurrency, shall we? We have a mixed bag in cryptocurrency markets today, and the reason is we have a rise in the dollar. We have a rise in the U.S. dollar today. So as a result, we are seeing a pullback in some of these cryptocurrencies because typically what will happen is if you're going to see a rise in the dollar, some of these investors are going to want to go ahead and cash out. They're going to want to go ahead and cash out in whatever currency that they wish to cash out in. We're having an increase in the U.S. dollar. We're having an increase, believe it or not, in the some of the European currencies because of the special general election that was called by Theresa May, which we're going to talk about that there later on in the broadcast. So as a result, you're seeing a lot of pullout in some of the mainstream cryptocurrencies. I think it's temporary. It's just everybody has to move their cryptocurrency to get more and more liquidity. I mean, that's the name of the game in cryptocurrency. Move it so that you can gain more and more liquidity on whatever cryptocurrency you're holding. I mean, just continue to move it. All right? I mean, Litecoin right now is taking a dive. But if you see it taking a dive in the chart, then move Litecoin into something like Dash, which continues to go up modestly. Or move Litecoin into Ethereum Classic, which is taken, in my view, right now, it's currently at a wave. I mean, that's the only way that you're going to be able to continue to make more and more cryptocurrency just by trading. I mean, you can do this. I'm not joking around. You just move the damn cryptocurrency around. I mean, that's the objective. Now, let's go ahead and get to cryptocurrency coverage right now, folks. Bitcoin, of course, the gold standard right now. And as days go by, folks, Bitcoin's dominance of the cryptocurrency market is fading. Within the past 2 weeks, Bitcoin's dominance in the cryptocurrency market has gone from 69% of the cryptocurrency market to 66.6%. Right now, Bitcoin's dominance in the cryptocurrency market is only 66.6%. So what does that mean? That means that all these other cryptocurrencies are basically competition to Bitcoin. And as I've stated, I currently believe that right now, the current status of Bitcoin being the gold standard for cryptocurrency is temporary because there's a lot of factors involved in the reasoning why I believe that Bitcoin is temporary. The only reason that Bitcoin is the gold standard right now is because it was the first cryptocurrency on the scene. But in my view, there's a lot of factors involved in Bitcoin that could contract this particular cryptocurrency. So in my view, that's why I'm diversifying my holdings as it pertains to cryptocurrency and spreading it out the gambit of cryptocurrencies, all right? Now, with that being said, let's get to Bitcoin, symbol BTC. The current market capitalization for Bitcoin is $19.6 billion, all right? Lo and behold, the current circulating supply is $16.2 million. Let's go ahead and continue. The current, or actually in the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has gone down modestly, 0.45%. The current price for Bitcoin, symbol BTC, current price, $1,206.72 per Bitcoin. Let's get to Ethereum. Ethereum, folks, symbol ETH, current market capitalization for Ethereum, $4.5 billion. The current circulating supply for Ethereum is 90.8 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Ethereum has also gone down modestly, 0.23%. And, of course, the reason is because of the rise in the dollar. And we're going to see that reflected in today's equities coverage when we get to there as well. The current price For Ethereum, symbol ETH, current price $50.31 per Ethereum cryptocurrency. Let's continue going. Dash Coin, folks, which continues to see a continuous gradual rise upward. And it seems to be that a lot of the cryptocurrency community is looking favorably as Dash being a genuine competitor to Bitcoin and Ethereum. There's a lot of flexibility with Dash. It's a lot faster, I believe, of a blockchain. There's a lot of factors in Dash. That's why you got a lot of people getting involved right now. And lest we forget, if you take a look at a chart on Dash, Dash was about at $120 about 2.5 months ago. $120 a Dash coin. And, of course, it contracted. So what does that mean? That means, just like in the equities market, there are people holding the bag at the prices from $120 downward. And those people that are holding the bag in Dash Coin are hoarding those Dash Coins until those prices increase to the price they got in on, which is 120, 119, 18, 117, etc. So I think that we're going to see another increase. Look, I'm barely starting to understand the algorithm, for a lack of a better term, of the cryptocurrency market. And the way it looks right now, I believe Dash Coin could see another $120, at least the price point to about $120 here in the next, I would say, 3 months minimum. 3 months minimum. It could happen a lot sooner than that. It depends on the market. It depends on the sentiment of the investors in the cryptocurrency market. But I am really bullish on Dash. I'm going to be honest with you. I am really bullish on Dash. Let's go ahead and get to Dash, symbol DASH. The current market capitalization for Dash Coin is $534 million. The current circulating supply for Dash Coin is 7.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Dash Coin has still gone up. 2.34% increase in the 24-hour period. The current price for Dash Coin, symbol DASH, current price $73.84 per Dash Coin. Now, let's get to Litecoin, because we're seeing some contraction in Litecoin, and rightfully so. As I stated yesterday, Litecoin has been increasing throughout the weekend. Take a look at the chart on Litecoin for the past week, maybe 2 weeks, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's bound to contract because folks that are either holding the bag from previous prices or that traded in at a lower price are taking profits right now. They're taking profits. They're either moving whatever liquidity that they gained in the rise of Litecoin and putting it into another cryptocurrency, or they're cashing out. So let's get to Litecoin, symbol LTC. The current market capitalization for Litecoin is $500 million. The current circulating supply of Litecoin is 50.7 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Litecoin has gone down 4.59% decrease for Litecoin in the 24-hour period. The current price to Litecoin, symbol LTC, current price $9.86 per Litecoin. Now, I don't think that this downward trend on Litecoin is going to continue. I think that it's just a minor contraction because people are cashing out. I mean, we were seeing 10 and change, almost pushing $11 on Litecoin. People are taking profits. You can't blame them. And that's what the name of the game of cryptocurrency is, man. Move it. Move the money. Move the cryptocurrency. Let's continue going, shall we? Monero, let's get to Monero, symbol XMR. Forgot the current price for Litecoin, $9.86. All right, Litecoin's price right now, symbol LTC, Litecoin's current price, $9.86 per Litecoin. My apologies on that. Let's get to Monero now. Monero, symbol XMR, current market capitalization is $293 million market capitalization. The current circulating supply is 14.3 million Monero in circulation in the past 24 hours. The Monero has gone down 2.83% decrease in a 24-hour period. The current price for Monero, symbol XMR, current price $20.51 per Monero cryptocurrency. Let's get to Ethereum Classic. Have you seen the rise in Ethereum Classic? You might want to check this one out, folks. We may be in a steep wave as we speak on Ethereum Classic. Take a look at it. Once again, symbol ETC. The current market capitalization for Ethereum Classic is $286 million. The current circulating supply for Ethereum Classic is 90.8 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Ethereum Classic has gone up 8.77% increase on the day. Take a look at that chart, folks. We may be in somewhat of a wave here. Now, how long that wave is going to last, I have no idea, but I like the way this chart is looking. Take a look at it, and maybe you can entertain a play here in the near future, because, I mean, these damn increases, whenever a wave gets started on these cryptocurrencies, it lasts for at least a good anywhere from 1 to 10 hours. 1 to 10 hours. Then after that, people start cashing out, people start taking profits, that sort of thing. So once again, Ethereum Classic, ETC, current market capitalization, $286 million. Current circulating supply for Ethereum Classic is 90.8 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Ethereum Classic has gone up 8.77%. Take a look at that chart, I'm telling you. Current price for Ethereum Classic, symbol ETC, current price $3.15 per Ethereum Classic cryptocurrency. Let's take a look at Zcash. And let me tell you, I like Zcash. And there's a lot of reasons why I like Zcash. First of all, it's a low circulating supply, first and foremost. Secondly, the technology behind it is, somewhat anonymous. It gives a lot of different flexibilities and nuances that other cryptocurrencies don't have. And at the same time, folks, if you take a look at a lifetime chart of Zcash, when it initially first started, when it was released to the general public, Zcash was trading as high as $2,000+. I mean, $2,000+ a cryptocurrency of Zcash. Take a look at the lifetime chart of Zcash. I'm not joking. Symbol ZEC. Now, just imagine the bastards, the poor bastards that actually bought in on Zcash at $2,000+ value. I mean, you've got to know that they are holding the bag. All right? At least some of them are still. I mean, somebody paid that price for Zcash.
Calling the 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA simply a compact SUV is like describing a cathedral as just 4 walls and a ceiling. The GLA is both a beautiful work of design and one of the most functional SUVs in its class, and it's available at an exceptional price. Why drive any compact SUV when you could be driving the 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA? Visit MBUSA.com/GLA to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
So, in my view, there's a lot of factors in me being bullish on Zcash as well. As a matter of fact, the cloud mining service that yours truly conducts mining in, they have sold out of Zcash mining contracts because Zcash is hot. I mean, everyone knows in the cryptocurrency market that Zcash, there's something special there, to say the least. All right, and I'm personally mining it out of my own GPU. All right, I mean, whatever chump change that I am getting out of my own mining process, I don't really care. I mean, I want to hold at least some Zcash cryptocurrency. So, I mean, Zcash is hot. And for you folks that are unaware, I do mine in the cloud. Let me go ahead and retweet those that don't understand what I'm talking about. Cloud mining take the hassle out of hardware mining, energy costs, so on and so forth, and upgrade costs, and just mine in the cloud. Now is the time, man. Folks that are getting in, that are taking my advice and mining in the cloud are reaping the benefits as we speak. Daily payments in your wallet every single day for 2 years, baby. You're going to have a 2-year contract. And look, I'm just spreading seeds out there. That's all I'm doing. Genesis-mining.com. I just retweeted the tweet if you want to get there. And the discount code, if you happen to want to entertain cloud cryptocurrency mining, the discount code is WEA296. WEA296. Now, with that being said, I'm just trying to spread seeds. Even if you don't want to mine it, obtain it, buy it, accept it as a means of exchange of goods and services, for Christ's sake. I'm serious. So anyway, with that being said, I like Zcash. Obtain it, try to get it, trade for it, whatever the case might be. Let's get to Zcash. All right, current market capitalization for Zcash is $80 million. All right, the current circulating supply for Zcash is 1.1 million in circulation. So once again, a very low circulating supply, to say the least. In the past 24 hours, it has gone down modestly, but take a look at that chart. Take a look at the short and choppiness of those waves. That goes to show you that people are buying. This is a buying cryptocurrency, and there are people buying and selling equally. So that's why you see those short and choppy waves there at the end of that chart. Well, let's go ahead and get to there. Let's get to the current price for Zcash, symbol ZEC. Current price is $71.28 per Zcash cryptocurrency. Let's go ahead and get to Decred. All right, Decred has seen a dramatic increase. We were talking about this yesterday as well. I said that it looked like, as well as a couple of these cryptocurrencies, I was saying that we are seeing a little bit of a potential wave happening, and we definitely saw it here in Decred, folks. Let's take a look at it. Symbol DCR. The current market capitalization for Decred is $69.2 million market capitalization. The current circulating supply for Decred is 4.7 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Decred has gone up 21.34% in a 24-hour period. I mean, good God. Good God. I mean, that's serious money, man. I mean, 21% on your money, even if you caught that wave at 10%, you still are up 11% on your money, baby. I mean, this is what I'm telling you. You obtain cryptocurrency and move it. And all this cryptocurrency movement also gets people well acquainted with how to move money. I mean, I'm just trying to plant seeds out here, baby, all right? Anyway, Decred, current price, symbol DCR, current price $14.71 per Decred cryptocurrency. Let's go ahead and get to another one here. Let's get to game credits. Now, folks, I know people were trying to, say, well, wait a minute, Kels, why are you covering game credits? What the hell is that? Well, folks, take a look at the chart on game credits. All right, I've been covering this for the past, I would say, several shows. It has gone up very generously, and I hope that some of you got in on this, because this is a low-priced cryptocurrency, and you could have got in and profited generously without investing a whole hell of a lot. So let's get to game credits, symbol GAMA. The current market capitalization for game credits is $52.6 million in market cap. We've got in circulation of game credits, 62 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, it has gone up 5.01%. Take a look at that chart, man, and take a look at those dips and waves. It's unbelievable. I mean, that's the kind of volatility that you want. You want to be able to move in and out and just be able to continue to increase your liquidity. Let's go ahead and get to the current price of game credits, symbol GAME, current price, 84 cents. All right? 84 cents. Let's go ahead and continue, all right? We've got, and look, the only reason I'm covering some of these is because of the increases that we're seeing. I mean, dramatic increases. One we talked about yesterday, folks, was E-dinar coin. Remember that? E-dinar coin, symbol EDR? I talked about this one yesterday being a potential wave. I mean, I said yesterday that we could be potentially seeing a beginning of a potential wave here, and I was right. Take a look at the chart on E-dinar coin. Symbol is EDR. All right, the current market capitalization for E-dinar coin is $14.3 million market capitalization. The current circulating supply for E-dinar coin is 70.2 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, the E-dinar coin has gone up 28.87%. 28.87% increase on the day in a 24-hour period. The current price for the E-dinar coin, symbol EDR, current price, 20 cents. I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's money to be made in these low-priced cryptocurrency. I mean, you could get in on an E-dinar play for a small amount of money and be up 20.8 on your money, at least 20-something% on your goddamn money. Let's continue going, shall we? Zcoin, folks. Zcoin, symbol XZC. The current market capitalization for Zcoin is $13.8 million market capitalization. The current circulating supply is 1.9 million in circulation for Zcoin. In the past 24 hours, Zcoin has gone up 3.26% increase in a 24-hour period. The current price for Zcoin, symbol XZC, current price, $7.21 per Zcoin cryptocurrency. Let's continue going. Another one that is on the radar, folks, Crown Coin. Crown Coin, that's right, folks, symbol CRW. Crown Coin, market capitalization for CRW is $10 million market capitalization. The current circulating supply for Crown is 13.3 million in circulation. In the past 24 hours, Crown Coin has gone up 33.33% increase on a 24-hour period. 33.33% increase, baby. I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's real money, man. That's real money. The current price for Crown Coin, symbol CRW, current price 75 cents. I'm telling you, you could have gotten in on any of these at a very low price and gotten 30%, 25% on your money in a single 24-hour period. Why do you think I'm covering these things? I'm covering these things to try to help you all get a play out here. But, you know, are people listening? No. You've actually got morons out here saying,
you know what, Ghost? I don't believe you. I don't believe this. I don't believe you. I don't like it. Nah.
Well, that's why you are a pathetic loser, and that's why in the future you are going to be shining capitalist shoes, pissing and moaning when I have been giving you the information to make yourself a better person and to make yourself a goddamn real capitalist. But instead, it's very easy for you pathetic wastes of life to piss and moan like a bunch of old broads than it is to actually be a man and take control of your own life. And instead of waiting for things to happen to you, you go out and make things happen. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Anyway, let me get a couple more of these cryptocurrencies. Then we're going to move on to the equities and the commodities markets. Z Classic, folks. What have I told you also about Z Classic? I've told you I've liked Z Classic, and I don't know if anybody's listening, but, you know, those that are, congratulations. You're probably making a lot of goddamn money. Z Classic, symbol ZCL, the current market capitalization is $5.3 million. All right, the current circulating supply for Z Classic is 1.1 million in circulation. All right, in the past 24 hours, Z Classic has gone up 12.09% in a 24-hour period. I mean, what have I told you? As a matter of fact, I have been saying I'm bullish on Z Classic ever since I started talking about cryptocurrency, but is anybody listening? Probably not. Anyway, current price for Z Classic, symbol ZCL, current price $4.59 per Z Classic cryptocurrency. I told you. I mean, when I started covering Z Classic was at about $2 and change. Now look at it, all right? Now look at it. Anyway, I've had about enough. Let's just go ahead. That's it for the cryptocurrency portion of the broadcast. Let's go ahead and get to the equities, shall we? All right, let's go ahead and get to the equities. Now, for you folks that are unaware, the U.S. dollar did increase. And as a result, what is the traditional fundamentals of finance when the U.S. dollar increases? We should see a decrease in equities and commodities. Now, is that reflected today? We shall see. Let's go ahead and get to the stock markets. Now, once again, I'm finally starting to see, or at least feel, that the stock market is realizing that they can't continue to prop up this ridiculousness. It's pure ridiculousness, man. I mean, finally, you know, Goldman Sachs yesterday puts out, you know, not so good earnings, and ever since Goldman Sachs' earnings were disappointing, we've been seeing decreases in the market. I've been saying this was going to happen. There's nothing justifying Dow Jones Industrial 20K. There is no profits. There is no forecasted growth. There is no forecasted profits. This is a fictitious bull run, man. So that's why I am encouraging everybody to get in cryptocurrency first. And just imagine when you have all this money in cryptocurrency and you see the crash. And it's not if, it's when it happens. When the crash starts happening, we see a contraction of Dow Jones Industrial going down to about 13,000. That's when you should start entertaining going in and holding. Because the whole objective for equities is long-term investment. Long-term investment reigns supreme. I mean, it's just all there is to it. I mean, what you want to do is you want to acquire stocks, you want to acquire blue chips, which, you know, you want to acquire those cheap, buy low, sell high, or dividend stocks. Now, we talked a little bit about dividend stocks yesterday, but in my view, I think dividend stocks is where it's at if you're going to be investing anything right now in the equities market. And if you're going to be investing right now at these high prices, I would strongly advise you to invest in a value investing strategy. Now, we've talked about this before, but it bears repeating. A value investing strategy is when you would, you know, take about whatever monies you would traditionally save out of your paycheck, whatever money you would traditionally throw into a savings account or save in your shoebox or in your mattress, whatever, you want to take that money and you want to begin purchasing a high-yield dividend stock. And it doesn't matter if it goes up or down because you're going to buy it every month. So some months it may be really high, other months it may be really low, but in the end, it'll all even out because that's why it's called value investing. Now, why would you want to do this even though the prices are rather high right now? Because, folks, dividend stocks pay you per share every quarter for every stock you own. Now, you have to look at whatever stock you're looking at how much they're going to pay you per share per quarter, per quarter. You also have to look at if that dividend that they're giving is even sustainable for the long term. Because some people or some companies, they put a high yield dividend, they attract investors, and then as a result, they just take the damn thing away. So you want to make sure that the profitability of the company is going to sustain itself so it can continue to pay that high yield dividend for a long period of time. So that's why I'm saying, folks, in my view, if you're going to be doing that, this is the kind of investing that you would want to invest in right now. Let's go ahead and get to the equities market, shall we? Dow Jones Industrials is down today 118.79 points. All right, a percentage decrease of 0.58%, closing out the Dow Jones Industrials at 20,404.49 points for the Dow Jones Industrial, all right? Let's continue going. The S&P 500 also down today, folks, 4.02 points, a percentage decrease of 0.17%, closing out the S&P at 2,338.17 points for the S&P 500. Let's go ahead and get to the NASDAQ. Now, the NASDAQ is the only index that has somehow pulled off positivity today, and I have no idea why. I have no idea why. All right? I have no idea why. I mean, once again, these investors are smoking crack. And the reason I say that, what's increasing the NASDAQ, it's like 1998, 1999 all over again, man. It is a pump and dump situation in tech. It makes me sick, you know? I mean, that's all I'm saying. It makes me sick. Anyway, let's get to the NASDAQ. It is up, believe it or not, 13.56 points, a percentage increase of 0.23%, closing out the NASDAQ at 5,863.04 points for the NASDAQ composite, for Christ's sake. I mean, good God. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Let's go to the commodities. Now, in commodities, we should see some kind of negativity reflected because of an increased U.S. dollar. All right, now, let's see if that is accurate as it pertains to the fundamentals of finance, shall we? Let's get to energy. Energy, folks, oh, man, I hope that you folks weren't invested in energy. And what have I always said about energy? I don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole. Why? Because there's so many goddamn producers in the world market today. So let's just get to what's going on here. A dramatic decrease in oil right now. Let's get to WTI. WTI sweet crude is down today $1.83, a percentage decrease of 3.49% decrease on the day. On the day. I mean, good God, I told you I would not touch oil with a 10-foot pole, for Christ's sake. Too many producers in the world market, for Christ's sake. Closing out WTI sweet crude at $50.58 per barrel of WTI sweet crude. We've got Brent crude also in the same boat, man. Brent crude is down $1.81, a percentage decrease of 3.30% decrease on the day, closing out Brent crude at $53.08 per barrel of Brent crude oil. I told you, man, I would not touch oil with a 10-foot pole. I hope that you all listen. I hope that you all listen, baby. Let's go ahead and get to gasoline. It also took it on the teeth. It is down 2.88% decrease for gasoline. The feast or famine natural gas is up 1.43% increase on the day for natural gas. Let's continue going. We've got heating oil also down today, 2.21% decrease on the day for heating oil. Let's go ahead and get to the metals, shall we? The metals! Let's get to the goddamn metals. Now, once again, we saw an increase in the U.S. dollar. We should see some negativity reflected in commodities. We saw it reflected in the energy sector. Is that same fundamental financial theme going to continue in the metals? Let's see. Gold right now down $12.10. All right, a percentage decrease of 0.94%, closing out gold at $1,282 even per troy ounce of gold. So I guess that financial fundamentals are actually being reflected in today's session. What a shock. Let's get to silver, shall we? Silver is also down today, 14 cents, a percentage decrease of 0.75%, closing out silver at $18.14 per troy ounce of silver. All right, I'm not joking. Let's get to copper. Copper, for whatever reason, was up modestly today, 0.08%. We've got platinum down today, 0.86%. Let's get to agriculture, shall we? Let's get to agriculture. Now, once again, we should see a lot of blood in agriculture because, once again, we saw an increase in the dollar, and the increase in the dollar should be reflected in a decrease in commodities. The only reason why we should see any green in the agriculture commodities is because of scarcity, or at least perceived scarcity amongst the market. So let's go ahead and get to agriculture. Let's get to the grains. Corn is unchanged today, unchanged for corn. Wheat down today, 0.57% decrease. Oats down today, 0.23% decrease. Rough rice is unchanged today, unchanged. Soybean is up 0.44%. Soybean oil is up 1.31% increase for soybean oil, and canola is up 0.85%. Let's go ahead and get to the softs index, shall we? Let's get to cocoa. Cocoa, the base for chocolate, is down today, 2.24% decrease on the day for cocoa. Let's go ahead and get to coffee.
Hey, dude, just don't talk to me. Don't talk to me unless I have my coffee, dude. Just don't do it, dude.
Shut up, you stupid hipster fruit. And stop showing off anal camel toe, you goddamn fruit bowls. Anyway, coffee, folks, is down today. It is down 3.37% decrease on the day. I mean, good God. And by the way, I would also like to take this opportunity to remind everybody to boycott Starbucks. Boycott Starbucks. Because I'm telling you this right now, we got to boycott each and every one of these leftist, liberal, trash corporations that are trying to assert themselves politically. They just need to sit there and shut up and provide America the product or service that they are selling. We don't need to hear their goddamn political perspective. We don't need to hear what they have to say. And if they're going to do it, if a corporation or a business is going to be political, they must know that there is going to be a backlash from one side or another. So in my view, I don't think it's economically viable for a corporation or a business to openly be political unless your demographic in your radius of your standalone brick-mortar business is all Republicans, all Democrats. If there is a vested interest in promoting your business under a certain political ideology, then I understand. If not, then don't do it. You're going to be ruining yourself. You're going to be sabotaging your company. Don't do it. Don't do it. Anyway, let's go ahead and get to, let's continue. Once again, coffee down 3.37%. Let's get to sugar. Sugar is down today 1.84%. Orange juice, folks, is up. Believe it or not, it is up 1.26% increase on the day. We've got cotton up today 0.20%. Lumber is up 0.62%. Rubber is up 0.99%, and ethanol is down 0.49% decrease on the day. Let's get to livestock. Once again, we're seeing gradual increases in cattle. This cheap beef doesn't look like it's going to last for a long time. I'm already seeing it reflected in the supermarkets. I don't know about you, but let's continue going. All right, live cattle is up today, 0.26% increase on the day. Cattle feeder is also up 0.55% increase on the day, and lean hogs continues its contraction. It is down 2.17% decrease on the day for lean hog, and that, my friends, is the markets for your ass, all right? Woo! Anyway, folks, look, before I get to Twitter shout-outs, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I got to share something with you guys, okay? I got a neighbor, and let me tell you something, man. This is why I keep telling all the young males out there that it doesn't matter really, how you think you look. As long as you present yourself as a successful, confident man, that women will just want your attention. They're going to want to do things for you. Look, I don't mean to preamble with it like that, but one of the neighbors out here, and I live in a pretty affluent neighborhood, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm staying out here in San Antonio temporarily. I'm living in a very, very nice home. I'm really surprised I was able to rent a home like this, believe it or not, for the price that I'm renting. Either way, we just got through, all right? We just got through here with Easter and Good Friday and all that stuff. And one of the neighbors happens to be a lady, single, all right, obviously took some husband to the cleaners so that she could live in a badass house right across the street from where I'm at. She sees me occasionally, out there in the front lawn, doing things. You're a man. I got a house now. I'm used to living in penthouses. I got a house. I got to trim the hedges and edge the lawn and all that crap, right? Never talked to this woman ever. Lo and behold, I'm outside. This time I'm smoking a cigar out front. And I'm smoking this cigar. This lady comes up to me and says,
I always see you across the street, and you just look like you're always hard work, and you look like a very good neighbor. I decided to go ahead and make you some of these cupcakes. And, man, she made me some goddamn bomb-ass cupcakes. Now, my wife doesn't really appreciate this, and rightfully so. She thinks that this woman needs to step off, and I don't blame my wife for telling, she didn't tell her this. She says she may tell her this, but I have to say, I'm sorry. These cupcakes are calling me, folks. I usually don't eat on the goddamn show, but good God, man, these are cupcakes. I got to have one. I'm sorry, man. All right, and you people that are, going to judge me for having a cupcake on the air, you don't even know what the hell you're talking about, man. I mean, they're calling me. These cupcakes. These are amazing. These are like crack. I'm serious. These goddamn cupcakes are like crack. Anyway, folks, before we get to some goddamn Twitter shout-outs, all right, let me go ahead and have a goddamn cupcake. I'm sorry. These are like crack, man. I'm sorry. Oh, good God. Look at. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is looking like crack, man. Oh, good God, I'm sorry. These cupcakes are calling me, man. They're calling me. Oh, my God. I'm telling you,
I hope this broad keeps making me cupcakes. I'm not even joking around. Oh. I'm not even joking. I hope this broad keeps making me cupcakes. I'm not joking. They're great, man. It's like crack. Oh, my God. Oh, man, that's great. I mean, I feel the sugar rush right when I eat. I'm like, yeah! Oh, my God. I'm sorry, folks. I had to do that, man. Man, she made like a dozen cupcakes for me over there, man. She made a dozen cupcakes. Now, I'm going to save them for the 420 episode tomorrow because, I mean, I know I'm probably going to need munchies tomorrow. Anyway, folks, let's go ahead and get to some Twitter and Gab shout-outs. And for you folks that are unaware, all right, if you want a Twitter shout-out live right here in the broadcast, all you've got to do is retweet the tweet that states True Capitalist Radio Live. That, once again, the tweet to retweet is True Capitalist Radio Live. And when I call, or excuse me, if you do that, I will go ahead and give you a Twitter shout-out live right here on the broadcast right now. I'm sorry if I'm discombobulated, man. I want another cupcake. I'm not. Good God, they're great. They're great. And it's just some broad from across the street, man. She just gave them to me. She's like, I always see you here, and you're always a hard-working man. These are great, man. They're like crack. Although my wife doesn't appreciate it. I mean, to be honest with you, I think my wife might want to go up and give her a slap. But, hey, what are you going to do? Anyway, hey, engineer, do we got any goddamn Twitter shout-outs to be had here, engineer? All right, well, let's go ahead and get to some Twitter shout-outs right now. All right, who do we got here? We got the Smiler in the house. What's going on? We've got the Brony Network, Green Leader. What's going on? We got Poison Cupcake. Shut up. There ain't no Poison Cupcake. Shut up. See, now you're going to get me paranoid, you pricks. Don't even put that in my head, all right? There's a nice lady over here who wanted to, impress me for whatever reason, for Christ's sake. There was a nice lady. She wanted to impress me. And you can't blame her, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, look, I don't want to brag. What's going on to Bryce? How you doing, man? We got Finchy Bird in the house. Who else do we got here? We've got, I'm not going to say that. We've got Ghost Cupcakes. Here we go. Here we go, for Christ's sake. I shouldn't have said anything, man, but I had to, man. I mean, this woman, I've never even met her, never even talked to her, comes up to me while I'm smoking a cigar and gives me some badass cupcakes. I think she wanted to give me some other cakes, too. You know what I mean? Oh, look, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Anyway, we got OG Toru in the house. What's going on? Raiden Goodwin Sr. Who the hell is that? What the hell does that mean? We've got Vivian HD in the place. Look, shut up with the cupcake trolls, all right? God damn it. Hanging out with Aaron Hernandez. Oh, man. Come on, man. Oh. Aaron Hernandez left us hanging. Oh, gee. Come on. Anyway, we've got Jizzmaster 3000, the trans cupcake. Oh, here we go. They put a pair of balls on a cupcake for Jesus Christ. Damn it. Freaking perverts, man. I mean, yeah, you know what? I'm not even going to go. I don't even, shouldn't even acknowledge that crap, man. Give me the mic. Give me the mic. We got Pound Ghost Cupcake. Shut up, you sick freak. We got Tech Capitalist. We got Make Autism Great. What the hell does that mean? Jesus, did I circumcise that? Shut up, man. Good God. Once again, if you want a Twitter shout-out, all you've got to do is retweet the tweet on my Twitter account that states True Capitalist Radio Live, and I'll give you a Twitter shout-out live right here on the broadcast. We've got Sergeant Yoda in the place. What's going on? We've got Edgar Raines. We got Trans-Stilling Capitalist. Jesus. Alabama Raiden Snake. Shut up. Can you please shut up? Good God, man. Hanging with Mr. Hernandez. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Look, we get it, all right? Aaron Hernandez supposedly killed himself, all right? Just shut up about it already. Just shut up. Good God. Give me the mic. Give me the mic. Hanging Hernandez out to dry. Look, enough of this crap, all right? Enough. Jesus Christ, you're soulless, man. Diabetic cupcakes. Shut up. That should prove to you I'm not a diabetic asshole, all right? I mean, unless I start being like, oh, man, I don't know, I'm tired. I'm just tired right now. I mean, if I start doing that, then I may be diabetic, but I'm not, all right? I'm not, boy. We got distilling Rackaline. What the hell does that mean? Rackaline? Are you talking about lines of cocaine? Boy, you better not be, man. Do not do cocaine, please, all right? I'm just warning, do not do cocaine. It puts a hole in your nose, it makes your prick shrink, and it could cause you a heart attack, all right? Just don't do it. Just don't do it, please, all right?
Calling the 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA simply a compact SUV is like describing a cathedral as just 4 walls and a ceiling. The GLA is both a beautiful work of design and one of the most functional SUVs in its class, and it's available at an exceptional price. Why drive any compact SUV when you could be driving the 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA? Visit mbusa.com/GLA to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Anyway, folks, I'm only going to take a couple more Twitter shout-outs, and we're going to go ahead and move on to some Gab shout-outs, all right? Now, once again, you want a Twitter shout-out, retweet the tweet that states True Capitalist Radio Live, and I will give you a Twitter shout-out live right here on the broadcast. CIA cupcakes with crack. I mean, look, don't put that in my head, man. Now you've got me thinking that this broad across the street is a goddamn spook. Just shut up, man. I'm just enough. Don't even kid around about that. Cupcakeaholic. Jesus. I love cupcakes. Enough of the cupcake. I shouldn't have even said it. You know, I spend a lot of my time of my day with you folks. Sometimes I want to be very candid with you, and I just can't. Mrs. Ghost is D-Cupcakes. You freaking dumbass. Don't talk about my wife like that, you son of a bitch. Damn it. You know what? Look, I shouldn't have even said anything. I can see this now. I shouldn't have even said any goddamn thing. I shouldn't have even said anything. Jesus Christ, give me the freaking mic. Damn mic. Freaking goddamn mic. I'm sorry, folks. I mean, this is Twitter shout-outs, folks. This is the internet right here, all right? This is the internet. Jesus Christ. Hernandez hanging around. Jesus Christ. Shut up with these stupid, dumb Aaron Hernandez names, man. They're sick. Jesus Christ. You know what? I'm not. Aaron Hernandez hung his burrito. Look, that's enough. All right, we're going over to Gab now, all right? We're going over to Gab now. Good God. And for you folks that want to Gab shout-outs, all you got to do is repost the first post on my Gab account, and the post to repost is True Capitalist Radio Live. That is the Gab post to repost if you want a Gab shout-out live right here in the broadcast, right here and now. We've got Phantom Thief Joker, Rice Patty Cakes. Shut up, for Christ's sake. Hernandez out indefinitely with neck injury. Jesus Christ! I mean, enough of this crap! Jesus Christ, man! I mean, you guys are really sick bastards, man. You guys are really sick puppies, to say the goddamn least, man. I'm telling you that right now. Give me the mic. Give me the mic! Jesus Christ, man. And look at this, having an affair for cupcakes. I'm not going to have an affair. Shut up. Oh, my God. Mrs. Ghost got cucked. Look, shut up. It's just some broad. They gave me a goddamn... Look, shut up about my freaking personal life now, all right? Just shut up. We've got Supa in the house. What's going on to Corn Blaster? We've got Troll Show over... Bill O'Ghostly. Shut up, you moron. Jesus Christ, man. We got Cavi the Capitalist. We got Adrian Hernandez. Shut up about this crap, man. What's going on to Tom? How you doing, man? We've got eating cupcakes equals divorce papers. Look, shut the shut up! Shut up, man. Look, it was just some broad. Obviously, looking at me makes her feel funny in the private parts, and it inspired her to go conjure up and make some goddamn cupcakes, all right? God damn it. Good God. Give me the goddamn... Give me the mic. Man. Aaron Hernandez, a pain in the neck. Jesus Christ, you guys are sick. You guys are sick, man. Oh, my God. We got Baxter Chan, for Christ's sake. We've got veteran of Forum Wars in the house. What's going on? We've got the deplorable troll in the house. Helicopter rides over Ghost's house. Yeah, shut up. We got Meme Magic, Heavy Capitalist in the place. Yellow Cupcake, you just ate uranium. Look, man, don't even kid around about that. You see, now you idiots got me thinking that this broad, she's either, an agent, she's with the Russians, she's gonna poison me with freaking polonium-210 or something. I would be able to taste, I would think, some kind of a poison of some capacity or that nature. I don't know. Anyway, folks, we are now in the second hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started on anything else, I'd like to ask everybody to please spread it around. Spread it around. Spread it around like wildfire. And let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And it is blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost. And, of course, if you have not done so, please follow me on Twitter and Gab. We're taking Twitter and Gab shout-outs now, for Christ's sake. And you can go ahead and follow me there. Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow. Now, before I take any more goddamn Gab shout-outs, I'd like to remind everybody that we have Get Helicopter Rides Apparel. Helicopter Rides Apparel. That's right, folks. If you have not seen it, Go ahead and check it out. Let me go ahead and retweet that on Twitter. I just retweeted it now. Helicopter rides for Antifa, commies, socialists, SJWs, and leftists. Get the shirt today and trigger these sons of bitches. Go out there and trigger these sons of bitches, baby. Helicopter rides, baby. You can run, you can hide, you get helicopter rides. You're goddamn right. Anyway, with that being said, let's continue going here, all right? I'm only going to take a couple of more of these Gab shout-outs, and I'm moving on. Listening device inside cupcake. Shut up, man. Jesus Christ. The yellow cupcake of tech. Just shut up, man. Oh, my God. I'm only going to take, Ghost cheated with a love muffin. Man, I had no idea that you idiots were going to go here with this. You know that? I had no idea. I had no idea that you idiots were going to go here. The cupcake will divide us. We've got Rock Ape in the house, for Christ's sake, all right? Jesus Christ. The cupcake affair. Look, you know what? Just for that, I'm having another cupcake, you assholes. You know what? You're going to sit here and rub it in my goddamn face. You know what? Screw you bastards, all right? I'm not going to have an affair over a goddamn cupcake, you stupid morons. I love my wife, for Christ's sake. She knows her place, all right? And, ain't nothing going to change that, for Christ's sake. Just because some goddamn bimbo from across the street happens to get hot in the pants looking at me smoking a cigar every now and then and decides to make me some freaking cupcakes that obviously have crack in them. They're like crap. So with that being said, let me go ahead and get another one of these goddamn cupcakes, for Christ's sake, man. I'm telling you, these damn cupcakes are like crack, man. They're like crack. Oh, my God. These are freaking great, man. And, all you people on Twitter and Gab talking garbage to me, shove it up your ass, all right? Oh, man, look at this. Man, these cupcakes are like crack, man. I'm not even joking. Oh, this is good, man. Oh, my God. This is so good. I can't. It's just. My God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Here, more. Oh, it's so good. It's like crack, man. I'm not even joking around. It's like crack in this here. Oh, my God. Oh, man. Oh, it's so good, man. I'm not even joking. Oh, my God. It's like crack. It's like freaking crack, man. Oh, my God. Look, I've got people in the damn Inner Circle chat room telling me, keep eating, fatty. Hey, let me tell you something. If I was a fatty, do you think that this broad across the street would be feeling funny in the pants? Huh? And then make me some goddamn cupcakes? I'm telling you, for Christ's sake, you people are pieces of crap. And look at it, people are now tweeting me cupcakes. I mean, look at this. Some idiot tweeted me a dog looking at cupcakes, pretending to have flashbacks of Vietnam. You son of a bitch! Goddamn assholes! Look on Twitter, for Christ's sake! Look! I mean, you're tweeting you guys are a bunch of bastards, man. You know that? You guys are a bunch of bastards. Give me the mic. Look, I'm not going to pay attention to Twitter anymore. I already know where you all are going with this, all right? I already know where you idiots are going with this, and I really don't appreciate it one goddamn bit, for Christ's sake, man. Anyway, look, I'm going to move on, all right, folks? We got a lot of things to talk about, and we don't need to be talking about freaking some broad feeling funny in the pants about me across the street making me cupcakes, all right? Jesus Christ, what an already pathetic beginning to the show. Anyway, let's move on and let's talk about some serious subject matters instead of talking about the cupcake affair, all right? There's not going to be an affair, all right? There's not going to be an affair, so shut up. Jesus Christ, you trolls, man. Anyway, let's talk about the first subject matter at hand, okay, folks? Yesterday, we talked about it a little bit, that the President of the United States, Donald Trump, has signed an executive order in which he is encouraging Buy American, Hire American, and in this executive order, he is going to mandate, or he's already mandated through the signing of the executive order, that the federal government hire American citizens and do business with American contractors first. And I think that is unbelievable, folks. Do you understand that? This man has federally mandated through an executive order that companies that are going to do business with the government have to be Americans first. So what does that mean? That means that all the tax money that is collected by the government that is issued out to everybody's goddamn cronies who donated to their campaign contribution accounts, all right, they're the ones who get these contracts. I'm talking about Chinese contractors, other country contractors. No, not anymore. Not in Trump America. Yesterday he signed an executive order that the government is going to do business exclusively with Americans first, American companies first. So with that being said, folks, that should go to show all of you that Donald Trump has not shied away from his Make America Great Again promise to the American people. And in that same speech, and he was at the Snap Company, folks, which is a tool company which prides itself on manufacturing its tools in the United States. That's where Trump basically gave this speech and talked about signing the executive order, buying and hiring American, and then signed it right after the speech. In that same speech, he talked about how we need to pass tax reform. It is essential for us to inject economic productivity into our economy. But one thing Trump does understand, and I have been emphasizing this ever since the debate of repealing Obamacare even came into existence during the first initial months of the new Congress of this year. I stated that it had to be repealed first because, folks, Obamacare was nothing more than economic sabotage on the American economy. And why do I say that? Because I've said it over and over again. It federally mandates that employers purchase health insurance for their employees if their employees happen to work full-time. And what is full-time as defined by the government? Huh? All right, what is full-time defined by the government? 40 hours a week. So if you work 40 hours a week, no matter what job it is, even if it's an unskilled labor job, you as an employer are mandated to purchase health insurance for that employee. And that's just not economically viable. I mean, employers cannot afford to purchase health insurance for their employees while at the same time paying them wages. A lot of the times, folks, the wages are just as much as the health insurance, and vice versa. The freaking health insurance is just as much as the wages. It's not economically viable, and the Democrats and Barack Obama knew this. Obamacare was nothing more than financial sabotage on the American economy. That's why no one can go out and find full-time work anymore. It's all part-time now, isn't it, huh? It's all part-time work because employers don't want to purchase health insurance for their employees. Now, don't get me wrong. If you're doing a skilled labor, if you're doing a skilled job, that your skill is providing an exuberant amount of income for your employer, of course your employer is going to pay for your health insurance. Of course your employer is going to give you perks. That's the whole point of a company providing such benefits to a worker, that they have so much skills that they generate profits exceeding far beyond what is needed to insure these folks or to give perks to these folks. Anyway, yesterday, Donald Trump, in his speech at Snap Tools, he emphasized that we need to repeal Obamacare. It is a must before tax reform is asserted. I mean, it's a must. I mean, we must repeal Obamacare. It's economic sabotage. We need to bring back full-time work. We need to bring back overtime. And the reason you don't have full-time work and overtime is because of goddamn Obamacare, man. That's why the goddamn job market is stagnant. And one thing I did like Donald Trump saying in the speech was that he called on the American people to pressure Congress to repeal Obamacare and to pressure Congress to hurry up and start passing the Make America Great Again agenda so that the American people can start reaping the benefits of a supposed Republican-dominated Congress and executive branch. All right? I mean, do you all remember when Barack Obama was elected president? I mean, I disagreed with everything what the Democrats and Barack Obama did in those first years, sabotaged the country. But at least what I can say for the Democrats is that they were all unified in doing it. All right? I mean, they were all, when they had a dominated Congress and a dominated executive branch, they had no problem all voting for whatever objective was on the agenda. They had no opposition, and if they did, it was very little opposition. And they were able to pass all these different laws that changed America for what we know of as today. And that's why I'm saying, why isn't the same idea applied to the Republican Party? How come the Republican Party, which dominates the Congress, which if unified could pass anything it wants, why is it not doing so in conjunction with repealing Obamacare? Why isn't it doing so in conjunction with passing tax reform? Because, folks, I'm telling you, these assholes in Congress are nothing more than power-hungry, bureaucratic pieces of trash. And, you know, they don't actually want to do anything for the American people because they're under the impression that at some point the American people are going to get tired and they're going to fall asleep again, and they can continue the status quo of selling out the country and fleecing the tax system like they've been doing for the past 60 years. That's what they're expecting. They're expecting the American people to fall asleep once again and no longer be political, and they can go and run amok like they've been doing for so long. That's why I am glad that the president, Donald Trump, has called on the people to start hounding these Congress folks. And look, I'm even telling you, man, tweet at them, Facebook message them, email them, call them, fax them, mail them by mail, whatever it takes. Show that you are completely disgusted at the lackadaisical approach that the Republican-dominated Congress has conducted itself. I mean, it is unbelievably sick what has happened here. We got a Republican-dominated Congress, and we can't repeal Obamacare, for Christ's sake? Stupid, man. It's stupid. So once again, POTUS urges voters to pressure Congress on Obamacare repeal, and I'm also trying to appeal to you as well. Write your congressman, call, contact, do whatever it takes. We have to show our disdain for these idiots in Washington, D.C. sitting on their thumbs. We have to. And like I said, folks, these idiots in Washington, D.C. think that you're not going to be political. They think just give it a little time, they'll always go back to sleep, and they will stop being political. You can't stop. This is a government made for the people and by the people. But if the people fall asleep at the wheel, folks, these idiots in Washington, D.C. are going to take control like they have for the past 60 years, for Christ's sake. So that's why we need to be political, folks. That's why I continue to come up on here, man. I mean, even though I'm dead tired, even though this goddamn show drains the hell out of me, even though I'm doing this broadcast 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then I have the troll show on Saturday for another 3 hours, the hardest working man on broadcasting today, the reason I keep doing this is because I have to continue to get up on this venue and convey these ideas, man, because no one in the mainstream media is going to convey these ideas. And as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and segue into the next subject matter. A study finds, and this is out of Newsbusters, I believe it's a nonprofit organization that conducts these types of studies. Study finds that 89% of the President of the United States media coverage is completely negative. 89%, almost 90% of the coverage of Donald Trump is completely negative. Now, this is why I'm telling you, folks, that the deep state, the political class, and the mainstream media are all in cahoots with one another because they all think that they have a vested interest in selling out the United States and the taxpayer to accelerate this globalist endeavor. Now, what Donald Trump has done as he has become president has put a halt to all the backstabbing, treasonous bastards in Washington who have been fleecing our tax system, who have been selling out our country for the past 30 or 40 years. He has put a stop to that. And the idiots that have been conducting the status quo in this capacity don't like it. And the reason that the political class and the deep state and the media don't like it is because they are not pertinent in the new globalist restructuring that has been caused by the capitalist right and the manifestation of a Donald Trump presidency. They realize that their dominance over information in the case of mainstream media is no longer relevant. They realize that the deep state, with all its capabilities of doing its intelligent work, is all of a sudden finding itself in a contradictory situation. And the political class, oh, good God, what a bunch of scumbags in Washington, D.C., almost 90% of these scumbags in Washington, D.C. could care less about the American people. They could care less about America. They could care less about making America great again. And that's why, folks, those of us right now have to continue to be political. We have to continue to put the pressure on these politicians. If we don't, they are going to run amok like they have, and we can no longer afford for them to do so. We can't afford for them to do so. So that's why I continue to do this broadcast on a consistent basis, all right? Because, I believe in President Trump, all right? I am not joking around. I believe in President Trump. He is the manifestation of the capitalist revolution. And I don't know how much more proof that I have to convey to you before you all start believing that the capitalist right has taken control of not only state power in the United States, but has restructured and shifted the globalist infrastructure in the world today. How much more evidence do you need, boy? How much more evidence do you need? Speaking of evidence, let's go ahead and get to the next subject matter. Jason Chaffetz last month, in conjunction with not being shown up by Peter Schiff, decided that he was going to continue. Remember, Jason Chaffetz was going to continue this whole Russia-Trump narrative because he's a scumbag, bureaucratic, establishment Republican. Well, folks, around March 25th, I tweeted at Jason Chaffetz, okay? Let me go ahead and retweet that tweet here. And I know I misspelled Russian. I was in a rush, so it really doesn't matter. But it says, if Jason Chaffetz wants to continue this Russian witch hunt on POTUS, we will expose him for the fraud he is, all right? We will expose him to the fraud he is. And what I tweeted right after that was a 1991 article that was hidden away in which Jason Chaffetz was a part of an alleged pyramid scheme involving a company he represented in a PR capacity called Nu Skin. That's right, the states of Michigan and his own state of Utah took Nu Skin to court, for Christ's sake, because they're a goddamn fraud. All right, they're a goddamn fraud. And as a result, I tweeted that at Jason Chaffetz. I just retweeted that for you folks that want a reference. And I told them that, we're going to come at him. The capitalist army, the capitalist right, we were going to come at him because I'm tired of these damn politicians thinking because they have bureaucratic position of power that they can't be taken down because of ridiculous borderline criminality or immoral activity that they have conducted in their past. Now, the reason I bring this up, folks, is that Jason Chaffetz will not seek re-election for 2018. Huh? What did I tell you? All right, take a look at that timeline on Twitter, for Christ's sake, man. A month ago, this asshole was touting that he's going to investigate Russia-Trump. He was being a part of the goddamn establishment, thought he was some big Billy badass. He completely botched the investigation into the Hillary Clinton emails, completely botched the questioning of Loretta Lynch. He is a complete incompetent blowhard. Now, we have found not just the Nu Skin stuff, but we found a lot of stuff on Jason Chaffetz that, if you want my personal opinion, folks, it's the reason why he doesn't want to seek re-election, because he doesn't want that genie to be laid out of its bottle. Because, remember, his constituency is out there in Utah. And in Utah, they like to think that they're all moral, high-mighty, even though they're a bunch of polygamous freak shows out there, all right? And no offense to my friends in Utah, I'm not talking about you. But you see, he ain't going to be able to run for re-election if he's got this kind of baggage that no one has highlighted in any kind of a campaign since he has been running for office. So as a result, folks, we put the pressure on Jason Chaffetz, and we basically told him that if you're going to come at the capitalist right, if you're going to come at the President of the United States, we've got so much dirt on you that we will be more than happy to use it on whoever it is that is your opponent in your district in the Republican side. And you know what Chaffetz did? He said, you know what, I'm not going to run for re-election. Screw this. I'm out of here. All right, I'm out of here. I'm not doing this. I'm out of here. So what does that make? Well, how much does that make? That makes how many people have gone down that have tried to go against the capitalist right, the capitalist army, and the Trump train? How many people have tried to come at us and now find themselves in a very precarious situation? I mean, how much more evidence do you need that the capitalist right is in control? How much evidence do you need? Look at this. I'm going to retweet this. I told him a month ago. Look at Jason Chaffetz now. More evidence that the capitalist right is taking control. It's taking over. You wouldn't think I was master of the universe or anything, would you? Anyway, folks, it's just political games. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Like my good friend Roger Stone would say, politics ain't beanbag. All right? And if you're going to play this game of politics, you better be prepared to answer anything and everything. And if you're going to run as a so-called conservative, as a social conservative, you better have led a squeaky clean goddamn life your entire life. You better not have any goddamn skeletons in that closet, because I can guarantee you I will find it. All right? I will find it. So once again, another Republican establishment asshole bites the dust because they tried to come at us, the capitalist right. Woo! I'm telling you, baby. I'm telling you, the capitalist right is rising, baby. You understand that? The capitalist right is rising. Woo! Oh, my God. How much more evidence do you need, baby, that we're taking control of not only state power, but the world? But the world. How much more evidence do you need, boy? How much more evidence do you need? I mean, look at how we in the capitalist right have risen from the ashes of the alt-right. And, oh, my God, the alt-right. Look at them now. Look at the alt-right now. Oh, my God. Oh, my. I'm not even joking around. Look at them now. I mean, they have shown their true colors, haven't they, huh? They have shown their true colors. Jesus Christ. Anyway, once again, folks, Jason Chaffetz announces that he will not run for office in 2018. What a coinkydink. And on top of that, folks, did you hear this Democrat that came out here today and said the reason that Jason Chaffetz is not running for re-election is because the Russians have dirt on him? The just shut up, man. All right? The Russians, for Christ. Just shut up, man. I don't like the Russians, okay? I don't like Vladimir Putin. I don't like the Russian government. I think that they're a bunch of commies. And why they're allowing Vladimir Putin to continue to be alive, knowing that this guy's a complete and utter commie thief scumbag that stole $200 billion from his Russian people, I have no idea. But I will continue to stand by the fact that Russia, Putin's Russia, Vladimir Putin, he will be assassinated or killed before 2018. And if he isn't, he would have thwarted and dodged at least several different assassination attempts. And I will continue to make and assert that prognostication. And let me tell you, when Putin finally does die, I hope that you all recognize that yours truly is not just some makeshift 2-bit goddamn talk show host on the internet, baby. I mean, I am highly integrated. Let's just put it at that. Anyway, once again, Jason Chaffetz announces he will not run for office in 2018. I wonder why! Don't mess with the capitalist right! Don't mess with the capitalist army, for Christ's sake, boy! Why don't you go ask D. Ray McKesson about the capitalist army, and he'll ignore your ass because he's scared crapless, all right? Yeah. Why don't you go ask Lucian Wintrich about the capitalist army and the capitalist right? He'll goddamn ignore you faster than you can spread his ass cheeks, that fruit bowl. Why don't you go ask around about who we are? And I'm telling you this right now, no one wants to acknowledge us. You want to know why no one wants to acknowledge us? Because it's all right. I'm not dangerous. Anyway, let's move on, folks. All right, we got a lot to talk about here. But once again, the capitalist right is rising. Long live the capitalist right. Long live the capitalist army. And let me tell you something right now. We ain't going anywhere. We've taken control of state power in America, and we are now taking control of the global order deal with it, baby. Do you understand that? Deal with it!
Calling the beautifully redesigned 2017 Mercedes-Benz CLA simply a four-door coupe is like describing a world-class athlete as just a good runner. With its sleek profile and powerful turbocharged engine, the CLA offers agility and design that are unmatched in its class, and it's available now at an exceptional price. Why drive any four-door coupe when you could be driving the 2017 Mercedes-Benz CLA? Visit mbusa.com/CLA to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
Anyway, let's take a step back. Let's talk a little bit about the mainstream media a little bit. Did y'all hear about Fox News firing Bill O'Reilly? Yeah. Bill O'Reilly finally off the air, man. Man, when the hell did I first see Bill O'Reilly on the news in Fox News? I think it was like in 1995, 96. Something of that capacity. And this moron, I mean, ever since that time, 1995, 96, when he was a commentator on Fox News, this guy was a pompous piece of trash. And to be honest with you, I've never been a big Bill O'Reilly fan because this guy talks out both sides of his mouth. And the reason he does so is to sustain the continuity of his damn show. I mean, when Clinton was in goddamn office, this guy was, sometimes he liked Clinton, most of the time he didn't, all right? Then George W. Bush came into office. All of a sudden he was critical of Bush, but sometimes he wasn't. I mean, talks out both sides of his mouth. And on top of that, folks, Bill O'Reilly has been a perpetual sexual harasser for a long period of time. I don't know if you folks remember when Bill O'Reilly had a lawsuit against him from a former producer in which the producer alleged in the court documents that Bill O'Reilly would call her late at night while penetrating himself with a dildo and telling her all kinds of sexual harassment, disgusting filth. I'm not even joking around, folks. This was in the court documents. All right? This guy's a very sick individual. As a matter of fact, I read here recently that a former Fox News correspondent who was female that happened to have been black, he called her brown sugar. And this came out today. Called her brown sugar and then snarled at her or something to that capacity, like some sick maniac. Like, oh, brown sugar. Jesus Christ, man. And the only reason that going back to the producer's filing of sexual harassment charges, the only reason that those sexual harassment charges didn't stick, for a lack of a better term, was because Bill O'Reilly paid her off. I mean, right when these documents were being circulated around the media and they started hearing that Bill O'Reilly liked to penetrate himself with a freaking dildo while calling his producer and sexually harassing her, that didn't look too good for Bill O'Reilly, and as a result, he paid her off. Who knows how many millions he had to pay her, for Christ's sake? Who knows? All right? Who the hell knows? So as a result, folks, Bill O'Reilly has been fired because all kinds of women now are coming out and saying that Bill O'Reilly sexually harassed them. And I don't think this is a conspiracy. This modus operandi of Bill O'Reilly sexually harassing women has been prevalent for at least 20-something years. At least 20-something years. And in my view, I don't understand how someone like Bill O'Reilly, who talks out both sides of his mouth, who's a complete contradictory hypocrite, who is a pompous jerk-ass, in my view. I don't like the man in general. I don't like how he talks. I don't like how he presents the material as if he's a pompous asshole and everybody else is a complete idiot. I don't like that he thinks that no, this is a no spin zone here, no spin zone. He doesn't even allow people to talk. So, in my view, I think that the firing of Bill O'Reilly is a good day in media today, because Bill O'Reilly was no mouthpiece of the right wing of the political spectrum. All right? No, he was not. He tried to claim he was independent, whatever the hell that means. And you know what? I hate the independent moniker, because independent politically is not the same as being independent financially. When you're independent financially, that means you take care of yourself. All right? That means that you pay for yourself, you pay your own rent, you make your own money, you're independent. But when you're an independent politically, what the hell does that mean? That means you haven't made up your mind on crap. That means that you stand for nothing. That means that you're independent to wishy-washy your goddamn political perspective. It makes me sick. So, in my view, man, it couldn't have happened to a better person, all right? It could not have happened to a better person. Bill O'Reilly, good riddance. All right, good riddance. And as a matter of fact, folks, you know where Bill O'Reilly came from? He came from Inside Edition and A Current Affair, all right? That's the equivalent of like National Enquirer television programming. I'm not even joking around. That's where he came from. And all of a sudden, this guy's a leading political voice in American freaking mass media? I mean, this is bizarre. I never understood why Bill O'Reilly was so prevalent and so relevant and so popular, for Christ's sake, man. I'm glad you're gone, Bill. I'm telling you this right now. I'm glad you're gone. You're a piece of crap. Now it's time for you to go to the old folks' home and die off, all right? It's time for you to go to the old folks' home, sip on Ovaltine, watch old episodes of The Golden Girls and Matlock, and, ride away in the sunset, you old piece of windbag trash, all right? Jesus Christ. As a matter of fact, let's listen to a little bit of Bill O'Reilly and the kind of work he did when he was at Inside Edition. Hey, do you have that queued up, engineer? All right, let's go ahead and listen to Bill O'Reilly during his Inside Edition days. Let's go ahead and listen to old Bill O'Reilly, all right? Here's him, Bill O'Reilly, during his tenure at Inside Edition. Let's listen to a little bit of a piece of his work back then, all right?
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Sure.
There's no words there to play us out. What does that mean? To play us out?
Sting is going to do. It's a video. Sting video.
What is
for credit?
I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Yeah, well, and then it shows Bill O'Reilly literally acting like a petulant child here. If you have not seen it, let me go ahead and retweet this, folks. This is Bill O'Reilly in action. This is the great political commentator right here. I mean, right after this ridiculous, pathetic, childlike outburst, the guy gets up, throws his chair around, takes off his jacket, throws his jacket on the ground, and starts acting like a child. You know what I'm saying? This is Bill O'Reilly. So if this guy has a propensity to do this, and look, I mean, what was he getting mad about? I mean, what was he getting mad about? I don't even know what the script says. Just by the description of it, I get it. You know, whoever wrote the script said, hey, now we're on to Sting to play us out. Go ahead. I mean, that's all it is. What the hell was his problem? What the hell was his problem? Anyway, I'm just saying, folks, it couldn't have happened to a better person. Bill O'Reilly's a grade A scumbag, and he's made a lot of money, a humongous amount of money doing all this ridiculous nonsense. And just by that little clip, I just retweeted it on my Twitter account if you want to look at it, which you just heard there. I mean, this clip alone shows you the sociopath-type mentality that Bill O'Reilly is. I mean, 1 minute he's like, F it, we'll do it live. F it, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. F it, we'll do it live. And then while he's, getting pissed, he's, God damn, F it, thing sucks. And, I mean, he's screaming, he's belligerent. And then lo and behold, they're like, all right, in 5, 4, 3, 2. And that's tomorrow, and we're going to go ahead now. I mean, just, what a bunch of sick freaks. Anyway, you know what? It couldn't have happened to a better person. All right, Bill O'Reilly, you're a piece of trash, and I'm glad it happened to you. All right, boy? I'm glad it did. All right, now go to the retirement home and, go make sure that you drink, massive amounts of Ovaltine. Make sure you go out there and watch Matlock and the Golden Girls. All right, and get the hell out of here. All right, get the hell out of here right now. Get out. Let's put Tucker Carlson in the spot that Bill O'Reilly is going to clear out. All right, he's much more talented anyway, and not to mention, Tucker Carlson has been paying his dues for a long time. He deserves that spot, man. He deserves that spot. I like Tucker Carlson. You want to know why I like Tucker Carlson? Because he acts like an adult. You don't see people act like adults anymore. Maybe I don't really agree with some of the things that he may say. He's a little bit too conservative in certain aspects of his political spectrum. But the way he presents himself and the way that he conveys his ideas is adult-like. And I mean, what happened to that, man? What happened to being an adult? What happened to being a mature adult and acting as like you are an adult? I mean, Tucker Carlson brings an element of maturity to broadcasting, and I'm talking about television commentating, that I don't think we've seen since probably the early 80s, maybe mid to late 80s, the 80s, probably since then. That's why I like Tucker Carlson, man. We need more people like Tucker Carlson that are adults, that speak as if, they are an adult, not some stupid, petulant child or appeasing some kind of a dumbed-down demographic. I really do appreciate Tucker Carlson. Like I said, there's some things I may not agree with him on, but the man is an adult, and I love how he conveys his ideas. I love how he conducts interviews. I love how he questions everything. Tucker Carlson, way overdue to take the slot that is going to be empty by Bill O'Reilly. Anyway, let's continue going, folks, all right? Let's get to another commentator that we talked about yesterday, and I'm talking about this two-bit phony named Alex Jones. That's right. I'm talking about this two-bit phony named Alex Jones. And for you folks that are asking why I'm calling Alex Jones a phony, well, if you didn't know, Alex Jones has admitted in a court of law, family court that is, that his whole persona, his whole Alex Jones persona is nothing more than an act. He is a, quote, performance artist. And yesterday, if you listen to yesterday's broadcast, I read this son of a bitch, the Riot Act. I said, what a complete and utter piece of garbage for this man to sit here after all these years, man. You know what I'm talking about? All these years. All right? All these years. 1776 will commence again because I'm Alex Jones and I'm out there and I'm calling the info warriors right now. You got to go out there and buy my filters. You got to buy my filters. All right, so you can continue to continue the info war, and we can continue to fund the operation. My filters. after all that, this guy comes out and says he's a complete goddamn phony. He's a complete goddamn phony. Now, folks, he came out very briefly yesterday in his show and tried to downplay and backpedal this admission because he was under oath, folks, okay? I mean, he can't admit that he is an act under oath and then come out and say that he, lied about it. All right? He committed a crime. He can't do it. So what he did, folks, believe it or not, he tried to say that because he admitted that he was a performance artist, he was a performance artist in the sense in which he goes outlandish at times. Like, for instance, the time in which he put on the Joker makeup and acted like a complete maniac for about an hour. He's claiming that is what he is referring to as performance art. He's talking about the time that he put a lizard mask on his face and pretended that he was, some kind of a lizard person. That is what he is speaking of as it pertains to his performance art admission in court. He's talking about the time he put a goddamn tinfoil hat on his head. All right? I mean, this is the explanation in which Alex Jones tried to explain himself. All right? Seriously, I mean, this is the explanation. And to be honest with you, what a weak-ass explanation, Alex, all right? And I said this yesterday. If you are truly devout about your political convictions, you would not have ever allowed yourself to degrade your integrity, especially in a court of law, and admit that you're a complete phony, Alex. You would have never have done that. If you were truly dedicated to your political convictions, you would have not done it. And, I've got all these morons out here telling me, well, Coach, you don't understand. You don't have small kids no more. And he was just trying to make sure that he has custody of his children. And he's doing it for his kids, Coach. You know what, morons? Great. He's doing it for his kids. Great. All right? What the hell does that mean? I mean, that means that he was never a devout political revolutionary, that he tried to portray himself on all of his media. He tries to portray himself as this ultimate freedom fighter on every goddamn broadcast. I mean, that's his modus operandi. Every time that he goes into some kind of a big rally or speech, why does he do so? Because he's got all these followers that believe that he is a genuine political commentator, a genuine political individual, which is obvious that he is not, for Christ's sake. He is not. And listen, this is why I compared him to Che Guevara. Che Guevara, folks, all right, even though he was a dumbass commie that deserved to be murdered by Felix Rodriguez, execution style, CIA agent, mind you, you still got to respect Che Guevara that he believed in what he said what he meant, and he died for what he believed in. All right? I mean, even though I think what he believed in was complete crap, he still died for it. All right? And this guy, during his political revolutionary tenure, during his time as a freedom fighter, Che Guevara saw his children maybe a handful of times in his entire life. A handful of times in his entire life, for Christ's sake, man. Why? Because if you have true political convictions, you are dedicated to a higher purpose. All right? It's not like you don't love your children. It's like you don't want to be with your children. But if you are a political revolutionary, if you are a so-called freedom fighter, you are dedicated to a higher purpose. You're supposed to be politically motivated by any means necessary. And if you aren't dedicated, well, then get out of the political arena. If you do not stand for something as it pertains to politics, then get out. All right? Get out. I'm serious, because I'm as serious as a heart attack in every aspect of my commentary. I am a true capitalist to the soul till the bullet hole. Capitalism or death. Do you understand? I don't care if I was put in front of a goddamn trial. I don't care if I was interrogated. I don't care if I was being tortured. I would never, ever submit to saying that what I ever talked about, what I discussed was an act, or what I portrayed on mass media was a bunch of crap. Everything that I have conveyed on this broadcast has been 110% genuine, folks. All right? You will never hear me say that, well, it was all an act. You know what I'm saying? It was all an act. Now, don't get me wrong. I like to have fun on this show. At times, I like to be a little sarcastically satirical. And I think it's more than obvious to most folk when I am doing that and when I'm not. And if you're completely oblivious to when I am or when I'm not, well, then you're a moron. All right? You're a complete idiot, and I don't know what the hell to say for you. I don't know what to say to you. But I am 110% genuine and real whenever I discuss my political convictions. And I'm willing to die for them, baby. I'm willing to die for capitalism. Because capitalism is the foundation for individualism. It's the foundation for liberty and freedom. Once again, Alex Jones tries to backpedal on his admitted performance artist court admission. And, you know, I'm glad that there is a contingent of his listener base that isn't fooled by the splitting hairs in which he's trying to do in backpedaling this court admission. I'm telling you, I would not have I think that was a bad move. I think that was a bad move. I don't care if it was his attorneys advising him. I think it was a horrible, horrible move. I mean, I think it demeans his brand. And look, I always thought Alex Jones was a little bit of a phony. I never thought he would admit to being a fake. And even though me and him had issues amongst one another, I still respected him for creating a independent media operation to potentially compete with other mainstream media organizations. The problem is that he has made himself the focal point and the main character or the main personality in his media operation. And I've always said in my criticism that if something happens to Alex Jones, that's it for Infowars.com. Infowars.com cannot independently sustain itself without Alex Jones acting like a goddamn fool. And you see, this is where the problem was. I've talked about this before. I appreciate and I respect Alex Jones for trying to create a $350 million media operation, but he's a narcissist. You know, he's got to put his face and his name in everything. I mean, if he truly wanted to have an independent media operation, he would have kept himself in the back burner and maybe, you know, had him do one show and not make him the point of emphasis of the InfoWars organization, but instead encompass true journalists and true personalities that truly know what they're talking about. Now, look, I appreciate the young chaps on InfoWars. I know that they're trying their best, but let's be honest, for the most part, a lot of these young people truly don't understand what they are trying to convey. They don't understand foreign policy. They don't understand history. They don't understand the empirical evidence to assert certain ideas. All they understand is domestic policy, domestic politics, memes, things to that capacity. I mean, they, with all due respect to the staff at InfoWars, they are really lacking in their true perspective of foreign policy and international relations. And this is something that I've been trying to put a point of emphasis on in this broadcast as of late, because international relations and foreign policy, folks, is an ugly game. And the basis of international relations and foreign policy, especially if you're a foreign policy creator or a maker, is to understand that the world is in a constant state of anarchy. It's in a constant state of chaos. And because Western civilization has been able to create a civilized society in an uncivilized world, as a foreign policy maker of Western civilization, you want, as creating foreign policy, a long-term goal or a long-term objective that continues to sustain the continuity of Western civilization for an indefinite amount of time. And that is the true objective of America's foreign policy, is to perpetuate and sustain the continuity of Western civilization. And you see, trying to understand that and the methodology behind constructing a foreign policy to sustain that goes way above the heads of most folks that think that they're political. And I'm not trying to sound like, oh, I'm smarter than everybody else. It's very complicated. Foreign policy, international relations, very complicated. But to sit here like most of these morons that were on the Trump train that hopped off after the Syrian strikes, I mean, you people need to realize that you don't have the mental capacity necessary to understand the complexities of international relations and foreign policy. I mean, that's just all there is to it, all right? I mean, that's all there is to it. Anyway, folks, we are now in the third and final hour of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And, of course, I am your host, the man they call Ghost. And once again, I want to thank you very much for tuning in with me. Before we get started, I'd like to remind everybody to please spread it around. Spread it around. Spread it around like wildfire. And let everybody know that True Capitalist Radio is in effect and in the house. And we are live every Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, right here on the official website of the True Capitalist Radio broadcast. And it is blogtalkradio.com/ghost. That's blogtalkradio.com/ghost, all right? And, of course, if you have not done so, please follow me on Twitter and Gab. You can follow me on both of those social media accounts under the name Politics Ghost. All one word, no underscores. Politics Ghost is the name to follow, all right? Now that we've got that all out of the way, folks, let me just go ahead and close up with this Alex Jones commentary with this. I think Alex Jones is a piece of trash. I think it's sad that he demeaned the integrity of InfoWars, the organization, because of his admission of being fake. I think that he had ample opportunity to be able to create something to truly combat mainstream media, and he failed to do so because he's a narcissistic maniac. And I think that, in my personal opinion, I believe that what his wife is alluding to in these allegations she is alleging in these court documents, I think are completely factual in my view. I think that he is a shirtless drunk. I do believe that he is not stable in my personal view. I mean, and listen, and the only reason I'm saying that he's not stable is because, I mean, how in the hell are you going to sit here and be so devout and literally every day, 1776 will commence again if you take away our guns, and all this crap. Every day you're doing this, and then meanwhile you are a fake inside. You're a phony, for Christ's sake. You're a phony? I'm sorry, folks. I'm just, I'm just in shock. Because I always knew he was a fake, and I knew he was a phony. I never thought he would admit it. I never, ever thought he'd admit it. So I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, I know that he brought in to Austin, Texas to cover him because I believe Alex Jones is in this trial here for the next couple of weeks involving his 3 children. He brought in Paul Joseph Watson, the classic Britannia cuck of cucks, and he brought in Mike Cernovich.
Yeah, Mike Cernovich. And, once you buy my book, Guerrilla Mindset, and, I know exactly where all the scoops are because I'm Mike Cernovich. And I know what fake news is all about, and suffering succotash, and they shut up.
Oh my God! Look, I've had enough. I've had enough of talking about Alex Jones already. But once again, man, I mean, my filters. That's all I got to say. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about Iran, folks. All right, let's talk a little bit about Iran. I want to put something before you here. Have you heard anything from Iran in a belligerent stance or saying that they're going to launch missiles or anything to that capacity since the Syrian airstrikes? No, you have not. The only thing that you've heard, okay, the only thing that you have heard was Ahmadinejad. Believe it or not, he is going to run again as Iranian's president. And Ahmadinejad said in an interview recently that the United States doesn't want to bomb Iran. And in the same sentence, Ahmadinejad, of course, was trying to posture for Iran, stating that the Americans can't hit Iran. They don't have the capability to hit Iran, so on and so forth. That's the only thing I've heard anyone from Iran say as it pertains to talking trash to America in the Trump administration. Now, with that being said, folks, Rex Tillerson has come out today, or actually earlier today, and said that Iran is actually complying with the 2015 nuclear deal negotiated by President Obama. But Iran still sponsors terrorism. And, of course, what they mean by that is Iranians sponsoring Hezbollah and other Shiite fighters in a variety of different regions of the world. They're talking about the uprising in which Iran is sponsoring in Yemen. Iran is all over the Middle East, folks. I mean, they are sponsoring terrorism. Now, what I find very, very convenient, and it seems to me that the foreign policy of unpredictability by Donald Trump is working, is the fact that Iran is actually complying with the 2015 nuclear deal. This just goes to show you that a lot of the stuff they've been saying is all talk. And they really don't want anything with the United States of America. I mean, to be honest with you, Iran is in a position right now, if they truly had the balls, they could literally say, you know what, F America, we've already got $260 billion of your dollars from your stupid mulatto president that's no longer president of the United States. We don't need to listen to you Americans anymore. We're going to go buy nuclear weapons. We're going to go buy ballistic missiles because they got enough money to do it. $260 billion? You can just go buy it, man. You can just go buy it. And as a result, I believe that if Iran had the balls, they would be posturing and standing up to America right now. They are not doing that. So this just goes to show you that Iran is scared crapless of the new unpredictable foreign policy of the United States. Because remember back in the day when Barack Obama was president, during the end of Barack Obama's tenure, Iran was testing all kinds of ballistic missiles. Remember that? They were testing all kinds of ballistic missiles. They were doing all kinds of stuff. They were posturing America. They were saying that America is nothing. Y'all remember that? I mean, look back in the news cycle at that particular time and take a look at all the articles in which Iran was posturing and flexing nuts to America. because they knew that Obama was weak. They knew they had Obama's number, for Christ's sake. And that's why they knew they knew they could get away with this crap. They knew they could get away with it. And they did. Oh, my God. Anyway, folks, the bottom line is that Rex Tillerson saying that Iran is complying with the 2015 nuclear deal negotiated by President Obama shows that Iran doesn't want any of the United States. Doesn't want any of the United States. Nothing. Nada. Nothing. I mean, because if I were Iran and I thought that I was truly as powerful as they claim to be, I would just go buy a nuclear weapon off the damn world market, man. I would go buy ballistic missiles from my friends at Russia. You know, I mean, you got enough money to do it. You got $260 billion, man. Billion. You could do it. So anyway, the lamestream media is trying to spin this as if somehow Donald Trump has reversed his stance on Iran. That's not the case. All right? You see how the media, plays this double talk? They're pissing and moaning at the Syrian strikes, and yet they're trying to compare the diplomacy that, and listen, it's not diplomacy that Donald Trump wants to play. But remember, President Obama has a written nuclear deal with Iran. And because the presidents have transition power, we still have to oblige that deal. And the reason we oblige that deal is because it's signed by a previous president. And it was agreed to by two nation states. And we have to make sure, as the United States, we have to make sure that the Iranians are, living up to their side of the deal. And according to Rex Tillerson, they are. The only difference is that these guys are sponsoring terrorism in the Middle East. And I think I've told you folks that. I think I've told you folks that we've got Hezbollah fighters integrated in the Syrian theater of combat. We've got Hezbollah fighters in Iraq sporadically all over the place. I mean, that's what Iran is doing right now. That's where they're spending their $260 billion, if you want my opinion, in sponsoring terrorism, and Saudi Arabia knows it. Why do you think Saudi Arabia is in Yemen? They are currently fighting a proxy war right now, Saudi Arabia and Iran in Yemen. Yemen's a failed state. That's why you've got these. That's why you've got the Sauds going in there trying to combat the Iranian influence in Yemen. And I'm telling you this right now. This is the beginning. This is the beginning of American foreign policy, in which we, as Americans and Western civilization, have cleared out the secularist leaders of the Middle East. Now, at first, people think this is a very, very whacked out, and I even thought it was a whacked out idea, but then you have to look at the long-term picture. We've got 1.2 billion Muslims in the world today. And let's just say, for the sake of argument, and I always say this, that 10% of those 1.2 billion are terrorists. All right? Are terrorists. That's over 120 million terrorists in the world today. And for whatever reason, the other 90% of the Islamic world, for whatever reason, can't or won't stop the 120 million or 10% of the terrorists within their Islamic population. And how are you supposed to combat that? How are you supposed to do that? How are you supposed to negotiate with this? You understand? How are we supposed to negotiate with this? You can't bargain with these Islamic extremists. You can't negotiate with these Islamic fundamentalists. You can't reason with these Islamic terrorists. So what are the other options? We've already tried them all. We tried the liberal diplomacy route. Didn't work. We tried to integrate them in Western civilization. It didn't work. So what are the other alternatives? The other alternative is if Western civilization confronts and actually engages in warfare. with the Islamic world, which that isn't going to be conducive for the sustenance of Western civilization, because the folks that are a part of the Islamic fundamentalist ideology are fundamentally motivated. They're religiously motivated. They think that God is telling them to fight. They think that God is going to reward them if they kill themselves while killing as many infidels as possible. So that kind of a fight between Western civilization and Islam is not very conducive. It's not smart. So what else are we supposed to do? Well, folks, that's what we're doing now. That's what the deep state, the intelligence community, the military, that's what everybody's trying to coordinate at this point in time. They're trying to coordinate a geopolitical area that comprises of Syria, parts of Iraq, parts of Libya, into this geopolitical region that will become a theater of combat between the Sunni and Shiite Muslims. Yeah. Now, why are we doing this? Why would we want to do this? Well, because, folks, we have to figure out a way to thin out the herd of 1.2 billion Muslims without engaging with them in any type of warfare capacity, because it's not conducive for Western civilization to do so. So what we do as foreign policy makers, we exploit the schism. We exploit the schism that is Sunni and Shiite Muslim so that these damn Muslims can fight each other and kill each other off, and this way we're killing 80 birds with one stone. They thin out the herd. Then we draw in Saudi Arabia and Iran into this theater of combat, and they help thin out the Sunni and Shiite Muslim herd while at the same time bankrupting their countries. And you see, folks, when all this is happening, all the refugees that are all over Europe, many of them are going to be called for jihad. It is in the Quran that if there is a jihad happening, and believe me, the Sunnis and the Shiites are both going to call jihads and fatwas, and all these refugees all over the world are going to converge on the Middle Eastern region to conduct themselves in jihad. Now, how do I know this, folks? Well, take a look at the Soviet Union's Battle of Afghanistan in the late 70s, early 80s, and take a look at all the mujahideen, the wild Yehudis that came from all walks of life in the Middle East and found themselves in this dirt hole in East Asia called Afghanistan, for Christ's sake, man. I'm serious. They were called there because some cleric, some holy Muslim said that this was jihad, that what was being taken with the warfare that was taking place in Afghanistan in the late 70s, early 80s was a jihad. And the folks that actually went out there and fought the jihad weren't impoverished Muslims, folks. Take a look at Osama bin Laden. He was a wealthy, rich kid that went out to Afghanistan and took his wealth with him to fight and conduct himself in jihad. Many of the folks that were out there conducting themselves in jihad in Afghanistan came from upper middle to middle class families in the Middle East. So what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what level of comfort a Muslim thinks because it's going to be he that goes and fights, he thinks he's in. If there is a call to jihad, especially in the Holy Land, because that's what that is, Syria, northern Iraq, parts of Libya, that's what that all is. It's the Holy Land. They're going to converge into this geopolitical area of warfare to conduct themselves in jihad. And as I stated, folks, what a perfect area, a desert, you're not hurting anything. It's nothing but a bunch of sand, and yet they're going to be conducting themselves in warfare in this theater. What a perfect place for either one of these sides, whether it's Saudi Arabia or Iran, to detonate a nuclear weapon so they can literally remove their own kebab. And you see, if they detonate a nuclear weapon, what is it going to hurt? It's not going to hurt anything. It's a bunch of goddamn freaking desert out there, man. It's a bunch of sand. So as a result, folks, this is the foreign policy that is being put forth right now. And I know it's very much over your head, and you don't understand why this has to be done. That's because you are you, and those that are in power are those that are in power. I hate to say it. You have to know what you're doing. I mean, listen, why do you think that fat piece of crap, old bastard, this old windbag, Henry Kissinger, is so prevalent? What makes Henry Kissinger so powerful? I'll tell you, it's the fact that he is a foreign policy maker that understands every component of foreign policy and the world, the parts of the world that it's conducted in. I mean, his foreign policy creations has done so much for the world because he understands the history behind whatever countries that he is writing foreign policy for America. One of my favorite Henry Kissinger foreign policy operations was the overthrow of Allende in Chile. Now, for you folks that are unaware about Allende was you could pretty much compare him to a Barack Obama communist-type figure in Chile. He was a very dangerous character as far as I'm concerned because he kind of conveyed communism in an intellectual, kind of everyday type of political philosophy. Because for the most part in South America, most people understood communism as armed revolution. Armed revolution.
Hi, I'm a helpful Southern California Honda person, and recently we've been doing random acts of helpfulness. Like decorating a children's hospital, helping a mom get a tutor for her son, and even replacing stolen tools from a car break-in. And right now, during the Honda Dream Garage sales event, we can help you too with a great deal on an award-winning Honda. Like the Accord, a 2017 Car and Driver 10 Best a record 31 times. Click the dealer locator link to find a dealer near you, and go to SoCalHondaDealers.com to suggest a random act of helpfulness for someone you know. Car and Driver, January 2017.
And Allende, kind of changed that whole perception on how communism could take control of a nation state by utilizing populism to take control of state power in Chile, and that's exactly what happened. Allende was a populist candidate and very, very popular to the point where he won a majority in an election. Now, the unfortunate part about it is Allende started nationalizing a lot of the private enterprise within Chile, and that got a lot of capitalists pissed off. All right, got a lot of capitalists pissed off, and not to mention, we as Americans were trying to fight the spread of communism throughout the world, so it was in our best interest to make sure that Allende was removed from power. Now, what Kissinger did was he was able to concoct a foreign policy strategy to remove Allende with the help of a coup from the military. Now, the individual in which directed the coup in the military was none other than Augusto Pinochet. Augusto Pinochet was a general in the Chile military, and he basically assumed control of power and directed his military to assassinate and kill Allende and the majority of the communist government. I mean, straight up, that's what, I mean, I'm not even joking. Pinochet literally directed his military to kill the communists and to kill Allende. And Allende was in his presidential palace trying to get on the radio saying, "Oh, communism, and we've got to fight, and this and that," and then Pinochet sent in some goddamn some jet fighters to bomb the hell out of the goddamn presidential palace, and that was the end of Allende. And as a result, what happened? Well, Pinochet took power, and what did Pinochet do? He took power and he decentralized power. He took power to get rid of state power. And folks, ever since Chile did that, ever since Pinochet came in and killed the communists and literally cleansed the damn country of Chile of communists, Chile has been an economic epicenter of South America ever since. I mean, it has been an economic pride of South America's eye ever since. It has been economically productive. It is a very rich country. Before David Rockefeller died, he used to like vacationing in Chile. I mean, I should go to show you how rich Chile goddamn is, for Christ's sake. And you see, all that whole story I just told you about Pinochet and taking control of state power and assassinating Allende and killing the majority of the communist government, that was all constructed by Henry Kissinger. And once Allende was removed, and once Pinochet took power, guess who came in to restructure the economy? None other than the capitalist godfather himself, Milton Friedman, Uncle Milty, baby. I'm telling you, rest in peace, Milton Friedman, the godfather of modern capitalism. Milton Friedman went out there and redesigned the economy, and that's why Chile has been great ever since. And I sincerely believe that Pinochet is a hero to capitalism. Pinochet is a hero to anti-communist. Pinochet is a hero to the West, and we should all pay Pinochet homage for what he has done. I'm not even joking around, man. Pinochet is, as far as I'm concerned, one of the most underrated heroes of modern Western civilization that goes unsung on a consistent basis. And that's why, folks, let me go ahead and retweet this. That's why I've got a cartoonish-looking Pinochet on the helicopter rides apparel that I've got for sale right now, man. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm paying homage to Pinochet, baby. This man was a true promoter of capitalism. Excuse me. He killed commies. He killed commies. He gave commies helicopter rides, for Christ's sake. I'm telling you this right now. Go ahead and go to my Twitter account right now. I just retweeted helicopter rides apparel, baby. All right? Helicopter rides for Antifa, commies, socialism, social justice warriors, and goddamn leftists, baby. You can run, you can hide, you get helicopter rides, boy. You're goddamn right. Anyway, folks, and of course, look, we got some dumbass. What about Adam Smith? What about Adam Smith? I said Milton Friedman was the godfather of modern capitalism, you idiot. Open your goddamn ears. Jesus Christ. You know, I hate little, you know what this reminds me of? All right? You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of these brats that are in college that raise their hand just to, say a bunch of redundant, already gone over crap just so that they can look like there's some kind of a busybody. You know what I'm talking about, right? I mean, you got a lecturer out here, right, that's, going over whatever subject matter, and you've got these dumb busybody jerk dicks that raise their hand, and all they're doing is just regurgitating a bunch of nonsense that isn't even a legitimate question. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what that is right there. What about Adam Smith? What about him? What about him? I'm telling you, man. Anyway, the bottom line is, this is why I went on this tirade about foreign policy and the story about Chile and all this other stuff, because, foreign policy and international relations seems to be above the pay grade. A lot of the folks that claim to be political. And that's why on this broadcast, I try to emphasize foreign relations, foreign policy, and international relations. I try to emphasize the mental capacity around the construction of such foreign policy. Let me just continue going, folks. All right. Once again, Rex Tillerson says Iran is complying with the 2015 nuclear deal negotiated by Barack Obama, but is still a sponsor of terrorism. Let's continue going. Let's talk a little bit about Asia now. Vice President Mike Pray the Gay Away Pence, Mike Pray the Gay Away Pence says the United States is not seeking negotiations with North Korea. Now, why would Mike Pence say that? Because I alluded to yesterday, folks, that North Korea, as much as they're trying to posture, as much as they're trying to saber rattle, they are, according to my sources that are inside the White House, let's put it that way, they have instructed me, or have told me, that Kim Jong-un is scared crapless, and that he is trying to do everything he can using China as a conduit to stop the United States from potentially either bombing his country, invading his country, or just taking him out. He is completely scared. Have you seen him recently? I mean, he looks a little shook. Have you seen him recently? He looks a little shook. And you know what's funny? I want to bring this up here, folks, because this should go to show you. And I don't know how many times I have to show you and tell you, but this should go to show you again that Donald Trump is playing five-dimensional chess when it comes to foreign policy. Five-dimensional chess. Now, why do I say that, folks? Well, you remember that big, huge armada in which Donald Trump said was going towards the Asian Peninsula? And there was an armada. There was a bunch of carriers and other ships that were going towards the Korean Peninsula, but decided that they were going to actually go from there and make kind of a turn. You know, they're doing one of these. You know, they're making a turn, and they actually docked in Australia. So you know what this means? This means that Donald Trump literally called out Kim Jong-un's bluff with a troll. With a troll! I mean, the President of the United States trolled Kim Jong-un's bluffing hand. I mean, what a madman! What a madman! Unbelievable. Let me go ahead and retweet this, folks, all right? Let me go ahead and retweet this, all right? As Trump warned North Korea his armada was headed towards North Korean Peninsula, or the Korean Peninsula, it actually made a U-turn and went right into Australia, which makes it seem as if they were never headed to North Korea anyway. All right, they were en route to go to Australia the whole time. I mean, Donald Trump just trolled Kim Jong-un, for Christ's sake, man. And the reason he did it was because, remember, Kim Jong-un was threatening, what was it, last weekend or something, that he was going to drop the bomb. Remember, he was going to have another nuclear test. Remember that? Remember, he told the media out there in North Korea to prepare for something big, a big event. I mean, what the hell was it? He was showing off a bunch of empty shells that look like ballistic missiles. I personally believe those are props. I don't think that North Korea has any kind of ballistic capability whatsoever. And if they do, it's very, very limited to the region itself. There is no goddamn way that North Korea has the ballistic missile capability to even reach the United States. All right? I mean, so give me a break. I mean, literally, Donald Trump trolled Kim Jong-un out of his bluffing hand. All right? I mean, what a madman. What an utter mad. I'm loving this. I'm loving this for Christ. Woo! I'm telling you, man, I'm not joking around, man. He just trolled Kim Jong-un, man. Now, with that being said, China seems to be a little worried that North Korea could be crazy enough to drop a bomb in the region or China itself is a little uneasy because it's been saber-rattling in the South China Sea for the past year and a half. I mean, they've built an artificial island in the South China Sea. They are encroaching the maritime rights of many of the countries that are bordering the South China Sea, and this is what's making China a little uneasy about saber-rattling and potentially helping a military operation against North Korea with the United States. Because let's be honest, China has not made any friends in the Asiatic area. I mean, Vietnam is pissed off at the fact that you've got China encroaching on their maritime rights in the South China Sea. The Philippines are a little upset at the same goddamn reason. Cambodia. I can go on and on. In my personal view, folks, this foreign policy strategy that's being conducted in Asia is that needs to be conducted. It's similar to what I was describing, the foreign policy that I was describing in relation to the Middle East. Because what's another population, a huge population of individuals that could potentially jeopardize the continuity of Western civilization? The Asiatic races. The Asiatic races, and there is a good amount of them, folks. Just there's over 1 billion Chinese, okay? And that's not counting all the other Asiatic races. And not to mention, folks, all those Asian races hate each other. I mean, the Koreans hate the Chinese hate the Koreans, the Japanese hate the Chinese and the Koreans, the freaking Vietnamese hate the Japanese and the goddamn Chinese, and the Cambodians hate the damn Vietnamese and the Chinese and the Filipinos. I mean, it's a whole racist bunch of crap. That's why whenever you mistake an Asian, like, you look at somebody and say, hey, I didn't know you had such strong Chinese heritage, and they're not Chinese. They'll look at you and say, motherfucker, I'm a Korean. I'm a Korean, motherfucker. I'm not a Chinaman. And you got to be like, well, geez, I'm sorry. I didn't have my slant eye chart on me. Here, let me take it out now, for Christ's sake. Oh, you know what? Yeah, you're right, Korean. I mean, that's why they take so much offense to it. I'm not joking. That's why they take so much offense to being called the wrong brand of Asian. Anyway, folks, once again, similar strategy that the West is implementing in the Middle East is the same strategy that is being implemented in Asia. I mean, we have to get these Asian races to basically, I hate to say this, thin out their own herd. They got to thin out their own herd out there. I mean, what is the alternative? We engage into a war with them? We can't do that. There's over 1 billion Chinese, for Christ's sake, man. It'll be a horrible war. So what you do, you pit all the contradictions that are basically ripe in this region against each other. And that is why you've got Donald Trump agitating Asia right now. And if war does break out in Asia, it's going to be between China and all the other Asian countries in the region, because China has severely pissed off everybody in the region. I mean, the Koreans, the Japanese, the Vietnamese, the Philippines, all of them. They do not like China. They don't like them. So, in my view, I think that, this is a very clever strategy. I mean, let's go ahead and allow these people to off each other and to thin out their own herd while us in Western civilization are kicking back watching and eating popcorn. I mean, this is brilliant. I'm not joking around, man. I mean, I just want some civility. I want to live in a civil society, and I don't want civil society to be messed with by a bunch of prehistoric, primitive populations who, for whatever reason, don't want to advance their mental capacity into modernity. All right? Jesus Christ. Anyway, let's move on, for Christ's sake. Once again, Vice President Pence says the United States is not seeking negotiations with North Korea. So take that, Kim Jong-un, you fat cheese-eating piece of trash. Anyway, folks, the UK Parliament, let's talk about UK. Let's talk about Brexit. UK Parliament approves Theresa May's June 8th general election call. Oh, man. And let the political games begin in Britannia. I'm already reading articles out of Britannia that Britannia, the hatred amongst every political faction is already taken to the streets. And you know what I find very ironic, too, is that this is a general election that's being called. So every seat out there in Parliament is up for grabs. And this general election, I mean, it's a month away. It's like a little over a month away, June 8th. I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? I mean, take a look at how long the presidential campaign was to elect Donald Trump, and here you've got a general election happening in the UK, and it's going to happen in like a little over a month. I mean, that's unbelievable. And once again, we talked about this yesterday. The reason that Theresa May called for this special election is so that she could solidify Brexit. She could solidify Brexit and solidify her clout that she has basically, I have to give it to Theresa May. I mean, I've been very critical of her because I thought that she's been kicking the can down the road as it pertains to Brexit. Once she finally implemented Article 50, she has gone full throttle. I mean, I think this is a brilliant political strategy so that it can pretty much do one of two. It's going to do a lot of things. It's going to solidify the Brexit mandate or the Brexit vote that was voted by the people. It's going to justify Article 50. It's going to remove a lot of the labor seats, and hence that is going to be the end of one leftist, Jeremy Corbyn. So that is also another brilliant strategy. And thirdly, I think that Theresa May is going to solidify herself if this whole general election goes the way that everyone seems to think it is. She could solidify herself as the next Margaret Thatcher. The next Margaret Thatcher. And I don't say that lightly. I think Margaret Thatcher was probably one of the most brilliant, if not the most brilliant, woman leader next to, I believe, Queen Elizabeth. And I'm not talking about this Elizabeth, the one now. I'm talking about Queen Elizabeth, the one that was the queen that never married, that basically was the one who was behind, what is it called, the British Tea Company, that financed the voyages to the New World. She was the one that enabled these quests into doing so. I mean, she's the one that rebuilt the navy of the English in Britannia. She's the one that enabled the idea of imperialism. I have to give it to that Queen Elizabeth. I mean, that was a pretty strong woman leader. But then again, they don't make them like that anymore, do they? You know, it must be in the British bloodline, huh? It must be all that inbreeding in the British bloodline or something. I don't know. But I can tell you this. I got to give Theresa May some props. This is a brilliant political move. And I have to give props. It probably feels good to be a Briton. It feels good to be a Brit. Let's put it that way. Feels good to be a Brit. I could only imagine the excitement that people in Britannia are feeling right now. Anyway, UK Parliament approves Theresa May's June 8th general election. Let me go ahead and get to some Venezuela news. Did you all hear that the mother of all protests is currently happening in Venezuela against the Maduro regime? Maduro, of course, just will not go quietly. He is not going to be removed from power. He is even being threatened by his own bureaucratic government. So what does he do in return? He arms his supporters. We talked about this yesterday, folks. He is arming civilian militias that are in favor of his regime. Now, why is this so dangerous, folks? Because remember, was it 3-4 years ago? I forgot when it was. It was several years ago. Venezuela was gun confiscating. And remember when they were gun confiscating, the communists were saying that they were trying to make a safer society to protect people and all this other nonsense. Look now. Now Maduro is going to arm only his supporters so that whenever there's any of these mother-of-all protests that we have seen today, they're going to be the only ones that have guns. They're going to take them out and start shooting indiscriminately at protesters that are protesting Nicolas Maduro and Venezuela. As a matter of fact, thank you very much, John. Here, let me go ahead and retweet this. Here it is. Clashes break out at the mother of all protests. This just in 7 minutes ago. Thank you very much, John, for retweeting that. Let me go ahead and retweet this. This is what's happening right now in Venezuela, folks. And you want to know why Maduro is still alive and he's still around? I talked about this yesterday. You know that while Venezuela is starving to death, while Venezuela doesn't have medical supplies to give to its hospitals, they don't even have enough toilet paper in the country. That's how much of lack of supplies they have. You've got Nicolas Maduro, what was it, last week, making a bond payment to the bondholders of $2.6 billion. So even though his people are starving to death, even though he doesn't have enough natural resources to suffice his own government's and his own people's sustenance, he still has $2.6 billion to give to those bondholders that are holding Venezuela's debt. So, with that being said, is Maduro really a communist? I mean, who owns those bond notes? Who owns those bond treasury? Capitalists, baby. Capitalists. So, as a result, folks, Nicolas Maduro, as proud of a communist that he claims to be, he is still paying his debts on time to the capitalists. Woo! Anyway, folks, let me go and get to the last subject matter here. I'm going to try to go 4 minutes on this, and then we're going to go ahead and open it up to Radio Graffiti for 10 minutes here. Are you all aware of this huge heroin epidemic that's happening in America today? Well, if you aren't aware, folks, I mean, heroin is so cheap right now. That's why you have people getting hooked on this particular narcotic, because it's very cheap to get and it's abundant to get. I hear that in some areas it's easier to get heroin than it is to get, marijuana, than it is to get 420, for Christ's sake, man. Now, why is this? Why is this happening? Well, we have to go back to the pharmaceutical companies, folks. Y'all remember about 10 years ago, hillbilly heroin? Y'all remember that? Oxycontin, for Christ's sake? Y'all remember that? That whole epidemic? And all these other opioid-based painkillers and whatnot? This right here, folks, was the prelude to what we now know as a heroin epidemic. You see, back in the day, what were teenagers and what was everybody doing? They were raiding Grandma's medicine cabinet. They were finding these Oxycontin pills and popping them and getting freaking high off the high hog out there. They were getting high as hell. All right? High as hell. Then what did the government do? They realized, we're having a very, very bad epidemic with this damn Oxycontin. Let's go ahead and regulate this son of a bitch. All right, let's go ahead and regulate this son of a bitch. And now you've got all these people that are hooked on Oxycontin not being able to get it anymore. And all these other opioid painkiller drugs. So what are they supposed to do? They go to the next best thing, the next cheapest thing. And folks, why is heroin so easy to get? Why is it so easy to get? I'm looking on the Inner Circle chat. They were saying a bag of dope, a bag of heroin so you could shoot up and get high. $10. $10 for a decent fix. How did it get here? How did it get so cheap? Let me explain to you what is happening, folks. The reason that we entered Afghanistan, it wasn't because we were going to get bin Laden, okay? It was because we wanted the pipeline territory to lay pipelines to the Caspian Sea. That's first and foremost. But the real reason is because we as Americans wanted to control the opium trade. And for you folks that are unaware, Afghanistan is the number one source, the biggest source of opium in the world. And folks, 90% of the world's opium is produced in Afghanistan. You know, folks, we actually have military people that are working for our military that are right now guarding poppy fields in Afghanistan.
Calling the beautifully redesigned 2017 Mercedes-Benz CLA simply a four-door coupe is like describing a world-class athlete as just a good runner. With its sleek profile and powerful turbocharged engine, the CLA offers agility and design that are unmatched in its class, and it's available now at an exceptional price. Why drive any four-door coupe when you could be driving the 2017 Mercedes-Benz CLA? Visit mbusa.com/CLA to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing. Calling the 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA simply a compact SUV is like describing a cathedral as just four walls and a ceiling. The GLA is both a beautiful work of design and one of the most functional SUVs in its class, and it's available at an exceptional price. Why drive any compact SUV when you could be driving the 2017 Mercedes-Benz GLA? Visit mbusa.com/GLA to learn more. Mercedes-Benz, the best or nothing.
I'm telling you, folks, I mean, we, as I'm talking the United States of America, control the opium drug trade, whether you people want to see it or not. That's why when you see this epidemic of drugs happening all over the country and nothing is really happening is because we, as the American government, has controlled the opium trade. Now, why do we need the opium trade for? Folks, why do you think that we continuously have these painkiller pills pumped to us on consistent basis on commercials? Why do you think they have all these pills? Folks, we are guarding poppy fields for the pharmaceutical company, for pharmaceutical companies of America. And folks, guess who consumes the most out of those poppy fields in Afghanistan? The United States of America. So when you hear politicians claim that they want to do something about this heroin epidemic, they are the ones that started it. They are the ones that created it. So in my view, I sincerely believe that if you want to blame anybody for this heroin epidemic that is affecting your community, that is affecting your family, that is affecting your children, you need to look at no one else other than this United States government who is protecting the poppy fields. Do you understand that? Anyway, folks, let's just go ahead and end it there. We've got like a little over 9 minutes left. Let's just go ahead and get to some quick radio graffiti. That's right, folks. Radio graffiti, the part of the broadcast where the spectators become a part of the spectacle. All you got to do is give me a call right now at 516-453-9903. And when I call on your area code, you've got exactly 3 to 4 seconds to say whatever it is that's on your mind. That's why we call this radio graffiti. Do we got any goddamn radio graffiti calls, engineer? All right, well, let's go ahead and get to some damn radio graffiti calls right now. Anonymous radio graffiti.
Hey, Ghost. Quick question here. I just want to know exactly where do you travel on your free time, and keep me on the show, please. Don't disconnect me.
Where do I travel in my free time? Anywhere in Texas, baby. Anonymous radio graffiti.
Joining us in studio is my son, Rex Jones, and he wants to be part of the info war. He likes to read adult history books. He is undoubtedly cut out for this, and I intend for him to eclipse what I've done. He's way greater person than I was at 12. And I'm not building you up, Rex. I want you to know you're always, thank you, Dad, for letting me be on air. He has a passion for it, not as a narcissist, but as someone who wants to help people and who wants to fight tyranny. He has a sense of justice.
Yeah, you know what? Shut up, you stupid moron. I hope they use that clip against you in your family court, you fat fraud. Anonymous Radio Graffiti.
Hi.
Yeah, shut up, you stupid moron. Who else do we got here? We got 210 Radio Graffiti.
Not necessary Lamborghini.
What the hell is that about, for Christ's sake, man? Get it straight. Anonymous Radio Graffiti. Make Australia great, Radio Graffiti.
My name is Cleveland Brown, and I...
Oh, yeah, that's just great, for Christ's sake. How about 352 Radio Graffiti?
You know what? Just for that, I'm having another trap, you assholes.
You know what? You're going to sit here and rub it in my goddamn face. I'm not going to have an affair over my wife, you stupid morons. I love Tamia, for Christ's sake. She knows her place. Fine? Listen, hey, Tamia.
I'm not so sure about this, Thomas. I mean, your wife is outside, and what if she catches up?
Go ahead and open your legs and penetrate.
Okay, and...
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, these damn traps are like crack, man. They're like crack.
Oh, screw it. There's my virginity anyways.
Oh, man, look at this cup. Man, these traps are like crack, man. I'm not even joking. Oh, my God, these are freaking great, man.
Oh, you love me, huh? No. Don't find my cock. No.
Oh, man, good, man.
No.
Oh, my God. You're so good. I can't. My God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Here, one more. Oh, God. It's so good. It's like crack. Yeah, I'm not even joking around. It's like crack in my fur. Oh, man. Oh, that is so good, man. I'm not even joking. Oh, my God. It's like crack. It's like freaking crack. You sick freaking pervert. Shut up. Just shut up, you sick pervert. You're sick. You're freaking sick. You freaking sick-ass, twisted pervert. Shut up, man. That's gross. That's freaking gross. Give me the freaking mic. Jesus Christ, man. Anonymous Radio Graffiti. Hey, Anonymous, you going to say something or what? Jesus, God damn it, you stupid morons. How about 352 Radio Graffiti? We got 8 equal Radio Graffiti.
This is True Cupcake Radio.
True Cupcake Radio.
I am your host, the man they call Ghost.
The badass of cheating on love muffins and sugar sauces. Give them next door cupcakes with baked tits or give them down.
I'm telling you, these damn cupcakes are like crack, man.
Broadcasting live from the Bird Bakery in San Antonio, Texas.
Oh, man, look at this cup. Man, these cupcakes are like crack, man. I'm not even joking. Oh, man, they're good, man. Oh, my God.
And now we'll take it from here. Your host, the fake stuffers of fake stuffers, the man they call Ghost.
Oh, man. It's so good. It's like crack, man. I'm not even joking around. It's like crack in the fur. Oh, my God. You're so good. I can't. It's just... My God. You know what? Shut up, man. I should have never have told you pricks anything. You know that? I should have not told you anything, for Christ's sake, you son of a bitch. And wait a minute. Is this Raiden Snake? Raiden Snake, are you there? That's not Raiden Snake, you son of a bitch. How about 647 Radio Graffiti? Shut up, man! Shut up! many remixes? Good God, man. How many remixes are there, for heaven's sake, man? How about, Jesus Christ, man, I don't even know who to call on anymore. We got a little over 2.5 minutes left. How about Anonymous Radio Graffiti?
Hey, Ghost, I was the one who you called earlier in the first show.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry about that. Let me get to another one. Anonymous Radio Graffiti.
2, stupid 1, stupid 2, stupid 3. Don't give him to me. All right. Let's do it. So, goodbye. That will be all. I do like pie. 3, stupid 1, stupid 1, stupid 3. Some of us are trying to protect humanity. What are you all doing? You want me to do what? I'm still gonna keep your salary.
Just shut up. Wait a minute. Is this Raiden Snake?
Yes, it is, Ghost. I'm having to call off my
Hey,
one
it's
of my
Raiden
numbers.
Snake. Hey, thank you for coming back, Raiden Snake. Look, I am sorry for what the hell happened on the Saturday Night Troll Show. I am glad that you're back. What's going on? What's been going on with you? What's happening, man?
Well, I would call on my normal Skype number, but unfortunately, my account's still locked out because of Saturday. That's why my call got disconnected.
Oh, so your call got disconnected because you got locked out of your accounts? You're being hacked again?
Well, someone tried to reset my password, but they failed to attempt to because I had authentication, like 2-level authentication, so it stopped them. I'm still trying to get it
God!
sorted.
Look, you're not out of the inner circle, right? I mean, you're. I mean, because somebody was. You never stated that?
No, I didn't. Not under any circumstances.
Did somebody kick you out of the inner circle chat room?
Well, it showed that I was disconnected from it because I'm not even on. I'm not on Discord. I'm looking at it.
Oh man, well we'll figure it out there, Raiden Snake. All right, you be cool right there. We got about 30 seconds left. Let me take one more call here. How about 614 Radio Graffiti?
Ghost, since you like cupcakes, let's get Bill O'Reilly and suck on each other's Twinkies for the cream filling. Oh my.
I freaking hate Tom